WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. A Good Karma Brands radio station. Don.
I had never seen holes like that before.
Hahn.
I'm not comfortable touching it. No.
And Rosenberg.
I'm not breastfeeding.
No,
but
that's too bad.
This isn't North Dakota. This is New York.
This is Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg.
The best threesome I've ever heard.
On 880 ESPN and the ESPN New York app.
3 o'clock in the big city. Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg on a Monday with you, and we're all over the map. I'm in Nationwide Arena in Columbus, Ohio. Yes, I'm spending Columbus Day in Columbus. Alan Hahn's at Madison Square Garden because the Rangers, or the Knicks, have a preseason game. I've got Devils and Blue Jackets. And fresh from Perth, Australia, is Peter Rosenberg, and he's in the studio in New York. So, Alan, we've got it all covered, all angles covered here today.
Yes, we do, and we're ready to rock on is it a football Monday? What is it?
It is a football Monday still.
It is a football Monday, but it
kidding me?
Doesn't feel like football.
You got one football team in town.
They played like a month ago.
I mean, you already had your breakdown of the game, but still. And at some point, Don, we may need to get into the fact that I am in studio after being across the world for a week, and I am here. When I gave my wife the option, I said, Don and Alan are both out of studio today, so I can do whatever. Do you want me to stay home, or you want me to go in? She was like, you can go in. I'm all set.
Uh-oh.
Is that? Should we be concerned here?
And this is right after you being gone for a week on the other side of the planet.
Yeah, just got back, and she's all set.
This without Peter life is kind of comfortable. Take another day.
I know. So we'll deal with that later. But there are bigger issues. But we'll get to it.
This needs to be addressed at some point. But listen, I feel for Jet fans. Just a miserable, miserable game. And I got to say this too. Have you seen the last 4 times the Jets and the Broncos have played? Like it's a COVID Wednesday. 13-9, 13-11. Like there's nothing. What did the people of London ever do to us? They didn't deserve that. They didn't deserve to pay money to see that. And it's the same old. I don't want to be repetitive, guys, but it's the same old thing. The Jets getting eviscerated, Jets getting killed, fire Aaron Glenn, blow the whole thing up, yada, yada, yada. Dude, you're the ones that thought this team was going to be good. They were telling you they weren't going to be good. They're every bit what they said they were going to be. Now, is Aaron Glenn a mess? Yeah, he's a mess. But he's got a 5-year contract, and from what I can gather, guys, it's for significant money per year. The Jets never announced it, but it's higher than a first-time coach usually gets. So I don't think Woody Johnson, under any stretch of the imagination, is firing this guy in year 1 of a 5-year contract, pay him the rest of the contract, and then hire somebody else. So buckle up, guys. This is where we're headed. He's learning on the job. It's been painful. It's been makes your eyes tear. But this is what it is, guys, and you hope he learns. You hope he learns from the end of the first half. You hope he learns from the end of the game and become a better coach. But right now, this is everything that the Jets told you it was going to be, a work in progress. And, boy, they were not wrong.
Can I ask you about
this is
something,
a work in progress.
Okay,
yes, Peter.
I want to ask you about this question, though. We know they're not a great team. What happened to the team from week 1, though? I mean, what happened to that offensive 32-point outburst, Allen, for 1 week? This is a team that when they need any points in a big spot cannot get it. We're talking about 45 yards throwing the football. They can do nothing. How do you go backwards every week?
Well, let's see. Nobody really knew what they'd look like in week 1, right?
That's it.
You also had 2 weeks to prepare for week 1, whereas every other week now is you got to scramble during the week and prepare for the next opponent. I think it's as simple as if you watch Justin Fields throw a football, you tell yourself as a defense, let's let this guy throw a football. It seems to be the easy strategy to play against this team. Look, I've said it each week. Nothing about this team interested me.
Right.
The Justin Fields stuff that everybody got excited about did not interest me because he's on his 3rd team in 3 years. There's a reason for that. He wasn't going to just suddenly have this magical turnaround. What we're seeing out of guys like Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield happened because they spent some time as a backup somewhere, that they had to kind of work on their game and change some things about their game and experience. Justin Fields never has gone through that. He was the chosen quarterback for this regime. This is what Aaron Glenn wanted. This is why Justin Fields, when the Steelers called him during the before free agency opened, they were trying to talk to him. He didn't call them. He didn't return their calls. He left Pittsburgh. They actually wanted to talk to him. They didn't want to talk to Russ, but they did want to talk to him. He knew he had the Jets in his pocket. He had Garrett Wilson there. He had a support system, and he figured this is the best place for me. It's why they can't just pull the plug on him right now, 6 weeks into the season. I can't believe they didn't do it at halftime, but it's why they didn't do it then either.
Well,
so none of this is a surprise, guys.
No.
This is going to be a season that is going to frustrate fans. But as Aaron Glenn keeps trying to tell you, and Don, you said it best, leading into the season and early in the season, they've been telling you, they've been squelching all anticipation. This is media and fans that thought that this would turn around quickly. It's not. This is just the beginning, and I think it's only going to get worse.
The first thing, Peter, to answer your question, it looked like the Steelers just weren't ready for the RPOs that Fields was going to run. And once they got all that on film, everybody's went to work on it. They've taken that away, forcing him to pass. He can't do it, and that's why the Jets can't do anything offensively. So that probably explains the 32-point outburst. They obviously, guys, signed Justin Fields to appease Garrett Wilson. Right? It was an ugly divorce with Aaron Rodgers. He did not get along with Aaron in that final season. They wanted to bring Garrett Wilson back. This was all probably worked out. Garrett, we're going to give you a contract. It's going to be a slow burn here, but we're going to go get your guy from Ohio State. You're going to feel comfortable with him. It's not about winning. Because if it was about winning, guys, Tyrod Taylor's playing in that game in the second half. Tyrod Taylor is commanding the drive at the end of the fourth quarter to get them in the field goal range to win the game, and probably does. But that doesn't help their long-term health, because I'm not saying they're tanking, but winning is certainly not the priority there. The priority there is to learn on the fly. They went a guy that had blood in the ground in Aaron Glenn. They're committed to these 5 years. And, Alan, you brought up Bill Parcells. Bill Parcells has kind of been the ghost in the room every time we talk about Aaron Glenn. He's from that tree. He's been in the ear of Glenn. This is very reminiscent to Bill Parcells' first year with the Giants, 3-12-1. I looked it up this morning. They were in most of the games. Their defense was very good. Their offense was brutal. Scott Brunner was just not a good enough quarterback anymore. Difference was they had Phil Simms waiting in the wings. But, guys, I think this is by design. Let the guy learn. He's not going to get fired. So this is why they were telling you at the beginning of the season, look away. Go watch other football. We're going to be fine. We'll be here in 26, 27, sometime around there. And so getting mad at it, guys, to me, is futile. You're only mad because you thought it was going to be better. Now, I think you got to start winning games because you're going to start losing players. Football players don't want to sacrifice seasons, so you got to show up with some W's here. But honestly, I'm really surprised by the outrage because I didn't think it was going to be much different than what it is.
Here's the thing. I have been wrong about Justin Fields. I thought there was a ceiling there. I'm almost impressed at how bad he is. It's almost gone the other way now. I almost like it. Like I almost enjoy being this wrong because I really thought there was something there. Nope, you guys. I know neither of you had a high expectation for Justin Fields. He's the worst quarterback in the league. Did either of you think we were looking potentially at that? The absolute
I lean
worst
toward
in the
you,
league?
Peter. I honestly thought when they got him, he's 26, first-round pick, maybe because the Jets didn't have a chance to draft a quarterback, that maybe they can find a young quarterback and develop him. I was wrong. There's nothing there. There's nothing there throwing the football. He might have some legs. He might be able to do some things like he did in the Dolphin game, but that's not an NFL quarterback, guys.
It's a guy that looks like he doesn't know what's going on in front of him. It's a guy that looks like, as I said, the last time you saw him line up under center, look around, point, move people, process what's happening before you even snap the football. The fact that they didn't even let him run a play at the end of the half tells you the confidence or lack thereof that they have in him in a moment like that. Well, what if you didn't want to turn over because they had timeouts? You didn't want to fail on was it 4th and 3? Wasn't that much yardage.
Oh, just call timeout and throw a Hail Mary.
They were
Alan.
They were worried. They were afraid. It was pretty clear they were afraid. So they don't trust him. And I don't trust him because when you watch him, when a quarterback holds the football as long as he does and he uses the excuse, well, because a lot of times when you're a scramble quarterback, you got sacked 9 times. I don't think you were scrambling a lot of the 9 times. You were in the pocket. You were like stuck on one receiver. Then you took too long to process. You took too long to bounce to your next option, and he just ended up getting engulfed. People were complaining about the offensive line for the Jets for years, and I understand it. I am not blaming the offensive line for this. In fact, if I'm an offensive lineman on the team, I'm getting pissed off. Because I'm like, how much time do you need? Like, make a decision, make a choice. If you don't have something, you got legs, use them. And that's where it really gets frustrating. But it's a good thing Garrett Wilson got the contract he got. Because he's going to have to live through this. Like Garrett Wilson's good. At least like the money pacifies you right now, and the security, it has to pacify you right now until they figure it out. Because you saw him at halftime, he was pissed off too, and I don't blame him. That's a bad. It's not even a bad. Like I thought Zach Wilson was hard to watch. Justin Wilson's really hard to watch.
So let me ask you this: if they don't trust him, then why isn't Tyrod Taylor in the game in the second half?
Because they're trying to develop him. Because they gave him that relationship started, like I said, before free agency even began. And like we can't pull the plug on this guy now. We've got to keep working with him and just try to get him there. They're committed to trying to make it work. Because it's too soon to pull the plug on him. And Don, you said it. If they were trying to win, if there was like this feeling of, hey, we've got to really win games and try to make the playoffs, maybe that decision would have been made. But like clearly it's about other things. And they want to get him through this. They want to figure it out with him. And I don't know how this is going to end as far as the season's record goes, but I don't think there's a future with Justin Fields as a Jets quarterback, which now makes you go, 2 things if I'm Darren Muji. Number 1, we got to start watching a lot of college football and find out if there's just one guy that looks like he could be a franchise quarterback.
And then if you think there is that guy, guys,
you make sure you don't lose a spot to get him.
Well, I was going to say, so that means you keep trotting out Justin Fields, and you say, sorry, Tyrod, we're going to go ahead and lose these games, buddy.
And then the other thing you got to do, which we were talking about in our meeting before, which is, I think, the most fascinating conversation now you can have as a Jets fan, which there aren't many. It's might be the only one. And that is, how do you find a veteran quarterback that you think could help you win? Because we have looked around the league. We've seen Sam Darnold. We've seen Baker Mayfield. Look at Daniel Jones. Geno Smith more recently. He made a move. Like we have seen. Kirk Cousins a couple of years ago went to Minnesota, had some success. You've got to see who the next guy is that's on a roster somewhere where a team either doesn't want to pay him or there's a young quarterback pushing him out and you think he's still got something left. There's a guy in Pittsburgh. If only they can get a guy like that.
Oh, that would be. How would they have had the opportunity, though?
I don't know. But that's bygones. I'm just saying I think this is now puts so much more pressure on Darren Muji, the first-time GM, because it's the most important thing you're going to do. And I would do both. I got to draft one, and I certainly got to make sure I can find one that can come in and play, because 6 weeks in, we've kind of understood this guy ain't it.
Now, the other question is, all right, you're trying to make Garrett Wilson happy. You went out and got him a contract. You went and got Sauce Gardner a contract. They can't be happy right now where it's going. Are you start looking around to see if you can get something for those guys? Like, what good is Garrett Wilson going to be if you don't have a quarterback?
Well, you need him.
And if you're going to draft a quarterback, again, having one wide receiver is like having none. They'll just double team and can't throw the ball downfield.
No, I still think you need one, Don. I don't know how you play without one. You paid him. He's going to be here, and you how are you going to attract the quarterback if you don't have anybody to throw to? At least you got a guy that you can throw to.
Well, you attract the guy by going out and having a bunch of picks and a bunch of young players.
I get it. I think Brees is the guy. Brees is the guy you move because there's value to him. And they are showcasing him as much as they're running the ball. But look, they know you're running. That's why they're barely getting 3.5 yards a carry in this game. Why? Because Denver, number one, incredible pressure up front. Number two, they know you're going to run. They want you to throw.
Alan, I'm chuckling at the visual of Dance Club Don. Listen, let me tell you something, Alan. They know how to party on Columbus Day in Columbus. Got the lights going in there. Oh, Don looks like he's
Don
not,
needs the head bob.
it's Don at the Roxbury,
I
baby.
want to punch somebody right in the face right now. I mean, you can
Oh, you guys
practice
were
this
killing me in
morning,
Detroit
didn't you?
last year for this.
No, but this is louder than I've ever heard in an arena, ever.
Do you remember when I
know it's
yelled
their
at Detroit?
25th
I told them to
anniversary.
stop. I had to yell at them because they were playing the music so freaking loud.
It's
Remember?
like, dude, man.
Oh, the Cannons. That's right. You're in Columbus.
25th anniversary, first home game. They're testing everything out. I apologize. But
Also,
I've never heard it this loud before, Peter. All those times at the Garden, all those times on the road, I've
no,
never
this is a bad
heard
one.
it this loud.
It's a bad. There were some rough ones, but this one at least has the visuals. If you're with us on YouTube on ESPN New York, you can get a good look at Dance Don. I'm into it. And also, we need some thoughts at some point during the show, Don, about your debut. I got to hear about how it felt.
We for sure
we'll get
there.
that. Once I can actually hear the program that I'm on. Because
Well,
I'm sure you guys said some very interesting things over
really
the
good
last
stuff.
5 minutes. Didn't hear a word of it.
Got it.
That's great. We've been just ripping on you. But I'll also say, I don't know why I have a 0.5 camera going on right now. I don't know if you could, if I put my hands up, they look gigantic in the screen. I think
that's everybody. Look.
I'm at the Garden. Yeah, it's weird, this 0.5 camera. But I'm in an audio booth
You do look
at MSC
giant.
Networks. And it's actually great, but I realize that the backdrop is black.
Oh no, you're in space, dude.
So this is, I could be just about anywhere right now, but I'm right across the street from the Garden. But this is what life's going to be, Peter. I hope you're ready for this.
I know. I got two hustling, high-level broadcasters that I work with. Listen, of course, I thought it might result in me getting to work from home. Didn't realize my wife would say I'm all set and send me on my way. But hey, it's no problem. I love our Good Karma Studios here. Lovely.
On a day that Disney told all employees that they can work remotely today if they want. This is
Not
the
me.
day you do come in.
Not me. Nope. We got the new playpen set up in the living room. If I'm in there doing the show, I'm disturbing the playpen activities, so I'm out of there.
That's a problem. We don't want to disturb playpen activities.
Can't do
You know
that.
what we want to do, though?
What's that?
What's that?
Is what we want to do is make sure the bathroom's ready for her, right? Like if you got an old bathroom, Peter.
Go ahead, talk to me.
You got an old tub. You don't want to put her in that. So you know what you want to do? You want to call Bath Fitter.
Oh, yeah.
So let me tell you about my friends at Bath Fitter. So I told you about the updated bath that we did by the pool. I've talked enough about that. But I need to remind people that this was an old bath. We didn't want a bathtub in there. We wanted just a shower. They do that. This is not just a cover-up, guys. If you want to go from a bath to a shower, they do those conversions, and it's amazing. They tear it all out. They put in this gorgeous full shower. And now it's like the bathroom that everybody wants to use. It used to be the one everybody avoided. We used to keep the door closed. Now, when people come over, we're like, hey, yo, check out the bath. It's awesome. And Bath Fitter consultant came in, took us through the whole process. It was really easy. Free in-home consultation. We picked out style, color, and all the specifics and accessories to update our bath, customized the way we wanted it. My older sister, Nancy, she got jealous. And you know what she's doing? She called them. She's having Bath Fitter do a bath at her house now. They're actually doing it as we speak. And so Bath Fitter has a watertight fit. They have this thing called, it's Permaseal. It's bubbles. No, it's like you think it's like this old school thing. No, this legitimately transforms your entire bathroom just in one day. I said that, just one day. So we have no money down, no payments, no interest for 18 months. That's until April of 2027. So trust the Bath Fitter team like I did. Start designing your bath today at bathfitter.com. There's only one Bath Fitter, boys.
Oh, feel that? Oh, I could luxuriate
Start
that
off the
water.
phones
Yeah.
at 1-800-919-3776 with Danny in Center Point. You're on ESPN New York. What's up, Danny?
Oh, Danny.
Hey guys, I said to you guys last week that all I wanted to do was be proud of my team and see a competent team and just feel good about what we're doing. Don, you said it perfectly. We knew what we were getting involved in when we took on a first-time coach. We knew the risk involvement. I'm not giving him a pass, but he's going to learn on the fly, and that's what you have to do. There's very few coaches that have come in and been successful in their first year, so I'm giving Glenn a little bit of a pass. I cannot, Alan, watch quarterback play like that. Yep. This kid cannot see pre-snap, at the snap, after the snap, he can't throw an out. He can't throw a screen. There's no inside slants. There's no anything with this kid. I wanted to give him his chance. I believe, just like Peter said, that there was a ceiling, and you wanted to give him some grace. He's been in a bunch of different systems. There's something there, but you know what? There's nothing there, man. No. He's not processing anything. He's setting us completely back. The coach is scared to call plays. I'm scared to watch this team. Alan, come on, man. How much more do we have to endure, bro? I can't do this anymore, man.
Danny, the whole year.
This is supposed to be something you enjoy, guys. This is supposed to take you out of life for a minute and put you in a world that makes you happy. When in God's name, Alan, are we going to be happy, man? I'm so sick that it's October and this is what we're dealing with again, man. Again. This is not competent football, man. And I'm sorry, it's 90% on the quarterback, man. It's not the offensive line. The coach has got to learn a little bit. This is straight QB play that's atrocious.
Yeah,
Anybody could have won that game yesterday. Without the fumble, without the kick return, where really are we? We've got 0 points without any of that help. Without the safety, where are we? Right, Alan? Come on, man. I'm so sick of this.
Danny, I feel you. It's exactly why I let go this season. And I'm telling you, the worst day was when Rodgers' Achilles snapped, because that was the last time you felt like any real optimism about what the team could be, because you were believing all the hype and you were buying into it, and then you realized, nope, not this franchise. And you're right back where you started from before he arrived. The lonely Lombardi still sits there because there's still nobody strong enough to clean the stink off this franchise. And Aaron Glenn's plan and their plan is the only way out of this is to just dig a little deeper into it and get rid of whatever you got to get rid of and rebuild the whole thing from the ground up. That's the most painful place to be, because Jet fans have been through a perpetual rebuild for the last 15 years.
And listen, you're developing a coach, but you're not developing a quarterback. And you do, even though winning may not be the priority, guys, you still want to try to win because you don't want that cancer going through the room. You saw the way Garrett Wilson reacted at the end of the first half. Players are not going to want to continue to lose games. So at some point, you got to get Tyrod Taylor in there. You got to get Cook an opportunity, something other than trotting out a guy that's got no future here and isn't getting the job done. You can't do that to the players who are working their tails off trying to get prepared for games.
I don't think it matters.
I think it matters to the players that eventually they see a W. Because a lot of the guys that are working their fannies off here aren't going to be here.
Well, yesterday should have been a win, right?
Yep.
That's a win. It's got to be a win. And you have possession, you have a chance, and they're right there. They're how many yards away? 9 yards away from the field goal mark that they wanted to get to for Nick Folk. And you're thinking to yourself, okay, this guy is throwing ducks all day. So I gotta put my head down, I gotta go jumbo package and just try to get 3 yards, then 3 yards, then 3 yards. Like, that's all I need. Just get me 3 yards 3 straight times and then kick it. And instead, they threw on first down. What are you doing? And he threw it. Did you see the throw? Oh, my God, it was a terrible throw.
It's either a duck or a sack. Those are the two. Heck, I would have tried the 62-yard field goal.
And Glenn just said that it was out of his – they felt like it was out of his range. But I felt like getting 9 yards was out of Fields' range. At some point, you just got to say, all right, this isn't good enough. But how are you not just head down, run, just scrape as many yards you can just to get the damn win?
No.
That didn't happen. Why?
And that's
There's
what we're going to
no
have to try.
way anybody on the sideline believed that if we let this guy throw twice in 3 downs, that we're going to get there. No chance. Not the way he was playing that day. He was terrible.
1-800-919-3776. We've got tons of calls to get to. A lot of Jet fans. Finally, I'm feeling some passion here because it seemed like general disinterest, which will be passionate today and then probably go back to general disinterest the way this season is going for them. We're going to have the NFL binge coming up at 4:30.
Damn right we will.
ENN at 6. We're full frontal today. We're taking you up until 7 o'clock. I'm in Columbus. Alan's at Madison Square Garden. Peter's in the studio. And it's on a Monday, having some fun until 7 o'clock right here on Hahn and Rosenberg on ESPN New York.
Oh, yeah.
Mornings with DiPietro and Rothenberg.
This is the greatest feeling in the world.
He can run. He can run all the way to the end zone. Touchdown.
This is why you watch.
Finds an open man. Robinson's going to go all the way for a touchdown.
You want energy? I'll open my butt cheeks and give you energy today. Oh, my God.
DiPietro and Rothenberg. Morning 6 to 10 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
D'Agostino & Associates is a legacy firm, and I'm proud to be a part of that legacy. I'm Jenna D'Agostino, and like my father, I fight to get justice for the injured.
The hustle and grit of these streets shaped me. I'm John D'Agostino, and from the concrete to the courtroom, I built this injury firm 35 years ago to get accident victims justice. So call my team first, 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222.
You want justice? Think Jenna D'Agostino. Think D'Agostino & Associates. Justice isn't just a word. For us, it's a way of life. It's having compassion for your struggle and getting you paid for your pain. Now that's justice. D'Agostino & Associates means being there for the injured.
Seriously injured? Call my team first at 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222. D'Agostino & Associates has offices throughout New York and New Jersey and will come to you. I've been there, and I'll be there for you.
D'Agostino, Law, Bite Back.
Make cancer screening a part of your annual healthcare routine. New York Presbyterian offers a full range of cancer screenings, including lung, cervical, prostate, colorectal, breast, and more. Regular cancer screenings could save your life by detecting cancer at its earliest, most treatable stages. Screenings are available across New York City and Westchester. Learn more at nyp.org/cancer screening. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian.
Getting the right mattress helps you sleep at night. Getting the right price helps you sleep even better. At PC Richard & Son, they don't just sell you a mattress. Their experts use a 4-step fitting process to make sure your new bed fits you perfectly. The right fit, the right price, plus free delivery. It's what they do, only at PC Richard & Son. Free delivery on mattresses $199 and up. Excludes Manhattan. See stores for details.
A dime dropped right down the chimney by Justin Fields to Garrett Wilson, and the Jets have the lead. Be at MetLife Stadium for the Jets and the Panthers on Sunday, October 19th at 1 p.m., presented by JetBlue. Get to the game early and secure the game giveaway, a JetBlue Jets plane magnet while supplies last. Lock in your seats now at nyjets.com/tickets. Once again, that's nyjets.com/tickets.
Now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Hey there, guys. Good afternoon. Islanders still on the ice over at the UBS Arena, taking on the Winnipeg Jets. So far, no big delays on the Cross Island northbound, heading over to the LIE in Queens. Even beyond that, free and clear, heading over to the Bronx-bound Throgs Neck Bridge. Belt eastbound, crawling in Brooklyn with a crash by Coney Island Avenue. Traffic is pretty much at a standstill from the Verrazano. No big delays heading over to the outbound George on the West Side Highway in Henry Hudson. Cross Bronx westbound, much lighter than normal because of the holiday. Stop and go ride from right after the Sheridan through to underneath the apartments. Inbound George, no road work to slow you down. Upper deck, just about a 5 to 10 minute ride. Outbound Lincoln and Holland tunnels, about 5 to 10 minutes each. This report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you're not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Visit mad.org. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
Out here, it's football season, where nothing beats backyard grilling, gathering around the fire pit, and cheering on your favorite team with friends. The yard is mowed, the lights are strung, and the grill is warming up. Whether you need to fill up your propane, get a new grill, or even a generator, out here, it's game day. And we're ready for it. Tractor Supply, for life out here.
This college football season, show your school spirit every time you pay. Introducing college-branded Venmo debit cards. Rep your team on and off the field with custom school designs that let everyone know who you root for. Whether you're tailgating, grabbing snacks for the watch party, or celebrating a win, you can unlock 15% cash back at ESPN, 1 free year of Perplexity Pro, and more. This college football season, score more with the Venmo debit card. Get yours now in the Venmo app. Learn more at venmo.com/collegecard.
Max cashback varies. Terms apply. The Venmo MasterCard is issued by the Bancorp Bank, N.A.
Game Time is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time, boys.
I like when he holds it.
ALCS Game 2 can be heard on 1050 starting at 4:30 today. Of course, with the Blue Jays blowing that lead and losing to the Mariners last night. Seattle's up 1-0, and the National League Championship Series Game 1 coverage will be right after us here on 880 at 7:30. Islanders and Jets this afternoon. Do we have a score there, Anthony? Because using my phone as a camera.
Yeah, that's 4-2 Winnipeg.
Not good.
4-2 Winnipeg.
Not
Knicks have a preseason game against the Wizards at 7:30. Allen's going to be on the call for that. And I'm here in Columbus, Devils and the Blue Jackets at 7 o'clock. And, of course, you can see that on MSG Television. I'll be on the call with Kenny and Bryce. Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cast matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew. We're trying the new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. Back to the busy phones. Ira in Staten Island, what do you got, buddy?
Hey, what's gentlemen? You know, I knew this was a rebuild year. I was having my hopes up for Fields. I was wrong. He's not the answer. But, you know, besides that you don't have a quarterback, and he should have gone to Taylor, of course, yesterday in the second half, the coaching staff, they're in over their heads. I think the GM is in over his heads. And, Don, you're right. They have too much money invested in Glenn's contract. He's not going anywhere. That's the reality of it. But the biggest issue and that I have is, and I've said this for a couple of weeks now, I don't trust this regime to get the right quarterback next year. That's number one. And even if you want to try to get a little optimism, if you look at next year's schedule, it's almost like the Giants' schedule. Not only besides the division games, they got the NFC North. They make a trip out to Seattle if the season were to end today. They have Baltimore. They're at the Chiefs. They're at the Chargers. They got Denver at home again. So these next 2 years, you're talking probably 2 years from now, maybe we have a team that might be a 500 team with a quarterback.
That's what Detroit did. And that's what Aaron Glenn sold to Woody Johnson. Detroit had an awful, 0-10-1 to start that first year with Dan Campbell. And they got a couple of wins late. Then the next year, if I'm not mistaken, they had some wins late in that season. That's when the turnaround began, and it got everybody anticipating, okay, this thing's starting to turn in Detroit. Watch out for them. And then year 3, we saw them really finally turning on and making a rival. So I think the timeline there, Ira, is I think you're right. And I think that's what the Jets are expecting.
But the sad part is it doesn't work with every organization. And, Alan, you're right about a free agent quarterback. And while I was on hold, I looked it up. Right now, okay, you're talking about basically nothing. You're talking about Zach Wilson, Marcus Mariota, Daniel Jones. There's nobody out there. So I don't know, have no idea who's going to be under center next year for the Jets. But, you know, between that and the question marks with the coach and the personnel department, you just got to have to, you know what, you can't get angry because you got to expect this is a 3-year deal.
Mm-hmm. And it's sad because a lot of fans will say, you know, you're telling us to be patient and wait. That's all we've been. We've been patient and we've been waiting. And that's true. But every regime says you weren't waiting for me, that you were waiting for other people. Now you have to give me time. That's the problem. The longer a drought goes like this, the harder it is for anything to take hold because no one has the patience to wait because it's just been so long. And that's the struggle. That's what's going to be amazing to see is when does this turn? And I'm honestly, I don't think it turns until you get the quarterback. And 2 years ago, they had a guy who's going to be a Hall of Famer in their place, and it felt like it was going to turn. And then his Achilles ripped.
But see, that's the thing.
That's it, and then it ended.
That's the part that I know is a brutal thing to speculate, and I know it's not a sort of sports analyst thing to speculate on. It's a fan thing to speculate on. But it's why I understand the feeling of fans feeling like they are cursed with this ownership group, and it's just never going to change until the witch is dead. And I can't tell fans to not feel that way, Alex. I've been there, and I know what it feels like because when you finally get the thing, I had it happen. I got RG3. It was over. We got Rookie of the Year. It happened. Yeah. The Jets went and got Aaron Rodgers. He still had gas in the tank. They had pieces in play. They had a great defense, a young defense, a stud young receiver, boom, running back, everything you need, torn Achilles. It starts to get just like, I need out.
Cursed.
Like, it's almost like
you definitely felt.
Could they be offered a moratorium to leave right now? Maybe they're not to leave at this point. It's awful.
Oh no, you have every reason as a fan to just shut it off. Like I said, emotionally, but that's that's what it was going to take, because you really did believe with that defense and with Rodgers they could have been a playoff team. I don't know if they would have won a Super Bowl like some people were saying, but they would have been good, and that's all you were looking for. Is just like, it's amazing. Like, some franchises are trying to win a Super Bowl. The Jets are just trying to be good. They haven't been good in forever. And that's all you're looking for. But that was taken away from the fans that year, from that injury.
Now you got to rebuild.
And you can't say change the owner and everything changes, because, the Mets are a great example of, Wilpon's out, ding dong, the witch is dead, everything's going to go great, and it's still for the Mets. Now, again, much different success level. They did get to the NLCS last year, but still, it does take time. You got to get the guy, and they don't have the guy. As simple as that.
And now if you're a Jets fan, and we'll talk more Giants as well. And of course, I wasn't here on Friday for the entire Jackson Dart, Cam Scatabo celebration.
Oh, it was all over the walls, Peter. It was all over the walls.
Oh, believe me, I know. I could feel it. But I could feel it.
Supernova.
I could feel it in Perth, Australia. All right, I could feel what was going on there. But if you're a Jets fan, you're looking up, and I know for Giants fans, they think it's been a long time. I'm here to tell you, as a fan of a team that hasn't won in a long time, it hasn't been that long. And if you're a Jets fan, you're looking up and you're going, did they maybe just find, and I know it's still very unclear, but did they maybe just find a guy? Are the Giants already having fun again? The Giants got to win a divisional game on national television against the Super Bowl champions?
Yeah.
It's like a dream if you're a Jets fan. Imagine the Jets on national TV beating the Patriots or the Bills after they won a Super Bowl.
Well, by the way, after winning Super Bowl, okay, but they did do that the same night Aaron Rodgers' Achilles snapped. But I'll take it a step further. Forget the Giants, right? Did the Patriots find their next quarterback?
Oh yeah. Well, it looks like they may have already found theirs too.
They love that kid. He's good.
You were right on that. Right on that.
Wouldn't that just kill you? Like, are you serious?
Oh,
they found their guy?
No. The Patriots cannot get back to it again before the Jets ever find it. That would be so brutal.
And I've heard people say, Mac Jones looks pretty good in San Francisco. They're not going to need Mac Jones. Maybe Mac Jones is no, thanks.
But it's not just about finding the quarterback. It's also finding the coach. It's finding the general manager. It's finding the structure and the functionality of a football franchise. That's why, when you say, tank for Trevor Lawrence, would it have worked anyway if you didn't have the coach, if you didn't have the general manager, if you didn't have all the pieces in place to make it work? So they're in a really bad place because there's so much else they need. And the one thing they could change, or the two things they could change, are the general manager and the head coach, and they did that. So that's why they got the slow burn. Let this guy figure out what he's doing, and eventually we hope to get the quarterback. But they were starting from scratch. That's why they knew this season wasn't going to be good, because you would start from scratch. So let's get a former Jet the fans love, so that'll create a little bit of a buzz, I guess, and get things going. And maybe fans will have his back a little more than they had Gase's back or anybody else, because, as you like to say, Alan, he had blood in the ground.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's not just finding the quarterback, guys. It's finding everything else.
Yeah, I just think the quarterback makes everybody else look good. It's the ultimate deodorant, a great quarterback. Look at the Bengals. Joe Burrow. It
covers up for a lot of indeficiencies.
That franchise isn't really not a well-run franchise at all. No. But they have a good coach, and they have the quarterback. Now, he's out, so how do they look now? At least they stay somewhat competitive because the coach is good.
But isn't that crazy?
They're not great because they don't have the quarterback.
But think about that they're a great example. I'm glad you brought them up. The Bengals are, they got their wins with Burrow around.
Yeah.
But they had a brutal game against the Vikings. But at least, at the Lions, they played close. They stuck around with the Packers yesterday.
That game, that game killed me.
They didn't cover the points.
No.
And yet the Jets, in no situation, You get handed a game yesterday. Yesterday was such a ripe one to get a win out of.
Easy. You saw it coming. They got the safety, and you're like, oh, my God, they're going to win this game. They're going to win this game.
And I saw Ty Butler talking about this on SNY yesterday. If they could have managed to just get that one yesterday, you're looking at, dare I say, and I know you can't say easy games with a team this bad.
Soft, yeah.
But at least the Panthers and Bengals back-to-back are as good as you could hope for. Now, listen, both of those teams, unlike the Jets, are competitive at winning football games here or there. But you could have believed there's a chance. Now you got nothing.
No, Peter, here's the news. Here's the new slogan for the year. Less for more. Dante Moore, Oregon, #1 pick. There you go. Mel Kiper says best player in the draft. That's it. Less for more. That's our rally cry from now on.
Is he that good? Do we think he? We don't know
if
though.
Mel
that he could be the
Kiper
real
says
deal.
on the big board that he's the guy. I believe him. I believe him. Less is more. Who's with me?
Who are we?
Hashtag. Let's do it.
Who are we competing? Who are we going to be competing with here? You got the Jets at 0-6.
New Orleans. New Orleans needs a quarterback.
You got
don't
the
believe in Rattler.
Browns at 1-5. Titans 1-5.
The Browns are another story altogether.
Saints are 1-5. Yeah, those are, and then the Cardinals are sitting at 2.
Here's the other thing. Do you dare, if things get really bad with Fields, and you only have a couple more weeks for this, but if it gets really bad, do you call Cleveland and just ask about Shedeur, or would that just be completely just embarrassing? Like, would you? Is that the worst thing that could happen?
Well, what would be the?
Like just for
what's the downside?
What for a goof? Why not? Give him the ball. Let him play. See what happens. Right?
Listen, I would.
How much worse could it get?
I wouldn't hate it. Worst case scenario, he's terrible and you lose games.
Who cares?
I know, but there's also the optic of a guy that you could have had not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4 times, but a 5th time, and now I'm going to have to pay for him?
Well, 7th-round pick. Who uses those? Let's be honest.
I mean, it's just like a guy 5 times the guy drives a Mercedes-Benz in front of your house and says, "You want this? Here are the keys." "No, I'm good. No, I'm good." And then you go and pay $50,000 for it the 6th time he swings by. That's
I saw
stupid.
This Mercedes,
it's
and
not
I really
ideal.
I really like it now. It just it's
Oh,
not
yeah,
available anymore. So I
didn't
buy
see
one.
it from this angle the 6th time you showed it to me. This is great. All right, I think they finally got the starting lineups out of their system here in Columbus. Maybe
Beautiful.
the 3rd time's a charm. I don't know. But 1-800-919-3776. My apologies. But Alan and Peter got you covered. The NFL Binge will be coming up at 4:30. ENN at 6. Don Hahn and Rosenberg here on ESPN New York.
Friends, it's football season, the best time of the year. You should be out there tailgating, cheering on your team, and enjoying every Sunday. But if you're dealing with neck pain, back pain, sciatica, or nerve pain, even getting off the couch can feel like a challenge. You don't have to live like that. There's help. Dr. Jay Shaw at Sandwell Pain is New Jersey's top pain specialist. He's Ivy League trained, double board certified, and is dedicated to helping you get back in the game. Here's what makes the difference. No surgery, no scars, no long recovery, no pain medication. Just precise, non-surgical image-guided procedures that deliver real results. Dr. Shaw treats neck pain, back pain, joint pain, migraines, nerve pain, and sciatica with a plan that's customized for you. Same-day and next-day appointments are available, and with offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood, relief is always close. So don't let pain keep you on the sidelines this season. Visit SandwellPain.com to call, text, or book online. Most major insurances are accepted. That's SandwellPain.com. Relief is closer than you think, and it starts today.
Bally Bet Sportsbook. Yo, Bally Bet stacked for football season. When it comes to sportsbook apps, it's undefeated. Bally Bet. Check out that brand new parlay zone. Here's the kickoff. Build your bets and place them right on your phone. What? Live bets, daily boosts, and promos. Increase your odds so you can win more dough. Touchdown! Bally Bet's the play. Make game day more fun and download it today. Must be 21 plus, New York only. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY. Bally Bet Sportsbook and Casino. Download it.
There are a lot of reasons why people buy at Ramsey Mazda. It's their selection, it's their customer service, and it's their savings. Get 1.9% financing on a new Mazda 2025 CX-50 or lease for $219 for 36 months. Start shopping now at RamseyMazda.com. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda. Call 833-853-2970 for lease details. VIN SN390557. MSRP $32,455. Zero security deposit. APR $17.48 per $1,000 financed. Ends 10/31/25.
Don't take slow for an answer. Not so easy when you're stuck in traffic. But mere inches from someone else's bumper, you can dream of faster things. Like Optimum Fiber, the fastest and most reliable fiber internet, starting at $40 a month. So while you can't always switch lanes for a faster route, you can switch providers for a faster connection. Optimum. Don't take slow for an answer. Call 888-4OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com/fiber today. Terms apply. See Optimum.com for details.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
From the regular season to the Super Bowl, ESPN New York is your destination for football. We've got crazy fans.
If the Giants somehow beat the Cowboys, I'm going to take a dump on your head.
You can feel good because you're a damn football team.
Expert analysis.
Marcus Spears joins us now. ESPN NFL analyst Damian Woody.
Mel Kiper Jr.
The Hall of Famer Steve Young.
He's kind of our resident general manager, Louis Riddick.
We got Mike Tannenbaum right now.
And all your fantasy and wagering needs. This is ESPN New York. We are football.
John Ryan.
Yeah, Dad.
I think I came up with a killer slogan for our law firm. D'Agostino and Associates, bite back.
Bite back?
Yeah. When someone hurts you, you bite back. We'll be the law firm that bites back.
Dad, that's brilliant. Accident victims, call D'Agostino and Associates and bite back. Hey, we could even put a big vicious dog on billboards everywhere.
Yeah, and Rottweilers on buses.
Hey, how about a toll-free number?
What are you thinking?
You know, like 1-800-BITE-BACK.
1-800-BITE-BACK. That's brilliant.
But what if people hear fight back?
Easy. I'll spell it out for them, like 1-800-BITE, back. 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222.
Love it. Hey, Dad.
Yeah.
All this talk about biting back got me hungry.
Me too. Want to grab lunch?
Sure. Hey, how about a jingle?
You mean like
D'Agostino, law, bite back.
Continue with your phone calls at 1-800-919-3776. Has what been another brutal start to the Jets season at 0-6. Giants coming off that win on Thursday, and we're going to get into the real landscape of the NFL coming up because, boy, it is so wide open in both of these conferences. I don't think there's a true great team anymore. Injuries have certainly sabotaged some of these teams, so we will see. Let's go to Vinny, Staten Island. You're on ESPN New York. What's up, Vin?
Good afternoon, guys. I just don't know when Jet fans are going to learn that unless you bring a competent head coach in here, you can have Joe Montana being the quarterback, and it's not going to work. Okay? We got 3 examples of guys that were dead in the water in Baker Mayfield, Daniel Jones, and I forgot the other guy, Sam Darnold, that are going to be up, that are probably in the top 5, 3 out of 5 running for MVP in the league this year. You need guys that know what they're doing. Aaron Glenn does not know what he's doing. Okay? You brought in a defensive coordinator. You brought in a first-time offensive coordinator. It's like Salah all over again. If you don't find a head coach, you're not going to play well. Justin Fields can play this game. He played at Ohio State, top-notch football, 4-2 for the Steelers last year. The guy can play the game. They're not suiting the game to what he does. That's the problem. You got to do RPOs, read and reacts with him, and get him. You got to go into a hurry-up offense with this guy. They're trying to make him a drop-back quarterback like Zach Wilson. It's not going to happen. Thank you, guys.
I got to tell you, Don, I wish that I wish I was as good at picking games every week as I was at picking that New York coaches will fail. Because this has like become the easiest thing to read. I hate to say it, but like, come on, did any of us have a really good feeling? You guys were being optimistic. I was being irresponsible and saying it's definitely not going to work. I already knew. You guys, of course, were being reasonable and saying let's wait and see. But, man, it's been easy to predict sometimes when these guys are just not going to work out. And maybe somehow we'll turn this around. It's year one. We'll see. But I'm not sure. And you heard more and more voices today, guys, and I know you don't agree, and I think with good reason, but more and more voices speculating that maybe there is a chance, in spite of a 5-year deal, they're done after this year. We'll see.
I don't think that's the plan, but who knows, right? I mean, they came back from London last year, fired Saleh. Everybody was shocked by it. But Gase got more than 1 year. Saleh got more than 1 year. This is a guy that is one of the Jet greats. I just don't think they do it to him. But, the caller makes a point about, the poor coaching. You got a first-year general manager, yes, first-year offensive coordinator, first-year head coach. There's going to be growing pains. Now, he may be right. They may end up being terrible, right? But you got a veteran defensive coordinator, and the defense looks like it's got some things going on. I mean, you have to wait and see. I keep bringing up Bill Parcells in 1983. You look at Campbell. He's biting off kneecaps, and he's an embarrassment the first year, and now he's got a team that might be able to win a Super Bowl. I know Jet fans have zero reason to be optimistic because of their history.
None.
But there are coaches, great coaches, that failed early, learned, and then became good coaches. I know you don't want to hear it, but there is a side that says, let's see how this turns out. We're only 6 games into this regime. You have to look at the positives, all right? They didn't commit a ton of penalties. They finally got their first turnover. They didn't turn the ball. There's some things that, it's tiny little itsy-bitsy victories, but that's all you're going to get right now from this. So I don't know what to tell you, but you can't just throw another coach away.
Who's coaching Baker Mayfield?
Todd Bowles.
Where was he?
He was with the Jets.
Say no more.
And they just lost their offensive coordinator, and he's doing a pretty decent job in Jacksonville, although that was a tough loss to Seattle yesterday.
But still, that Jacksonville's starting to look like a team that's functional now, whereas in recent past they have not been. So
it's like telling Alan. Both of us have went to schools and talked to kids who want to get into broadcasting, right? Yeah. And one of the first things I tell them is, some guys like Bob Wischusen and Ian Eagle, they were born with a microphone. They came out of the womb with a microphone. And they start calling games. And then there are people like me that I didn't call my first game until I was in my 40s. Like, everybody's on their own pace. Sometimes it happens right away. Some coaches are great immediately. Some coaches, it takes a little time. It took some time for Parcells that first year. Todd Bowles looks like he's finally found his groove, right? What is it going to be, 4 straight division titles this year for them? Mm-hmm. It takes time. But Jet fans don't want time. They've been sold the bill of goods for so long, so I get it. But I think you need to be patient with this one. And I know your patience has been exhausted, but what else you got to do, man?
And imagine if the Jets had realized, and I don't think anyone thought Todd Bowles, when it was the end for Bowles, Don, I don't think anyone thought he was terrible. It just wasn't the time at that point.
But they were losing. They were
not winning enough.
4 wins, 5 wins. They really struggled.
They were not winning enough, and it wasn't going to happen with him, so let's get fresh blood. Now, think about what if you're a Jets fan, how far away we feel from his competence. I'm sorry. I mean, Saleh seemed like a lovely guy. He just gave you absolutely no confidence as a leader of this team. And now,
Peter,
Aaron Glenn.
I don't care what any Giant fan tells you. None of them were crying crocodile tears when Tom Coughlin was let go. And then up until last week, and it's only been 1 week beating Philadelphia. It could go right back to what it was in New Orleans next week. Is that, boy, you long for the days of a failing Tom Coughlin.
Oh, my
because
God.
It was so much better than what it's been since McAdoo and Shermer and Judge and the early portions of Dable. I am telling you to be patient, and there's still a 90% chance it's not going to work out. But what else are you supposed to do unless you want to tap out?
And Don,
that's your alternative.
Think about the Giants situation, of how many fans want to run Dable out of town, and what you need to now accept is, as much as you love Jackson Dart loves Brian Dable.
Yeah.
Which means he's not going anywhere. So if you don't think he's a competent head coach, that's the coach that you're going to see going forward, as long as Jackson Dart is playing at the level he's been playing these first 3 weeks as a starter.
Well, David in Little Falls, you're on ESPN New York. What's up, David?
Hey, good afternoon, fellas.
What's up?
Hey, first of all, right on there with that comment on the Giants. A great quarterback will make the coach look like a genius.
Yep.
In my opinion on the Jets, fellas, is it's coaching right now, because you had your pinnacle, like you said a little while back, with Aaron Rodgers peaking. He blows the ACL. Okay, you lose that opportunity. Now I think they got to scrap everything, get a Bill Walsh type of offensive genius coach that comes in and just masters that whole aspect of the game. Or two, you need a tyrant type of coach that, like, zero tolerance, old school Jimmy Johnson, run your racket, and Bill Parcells, younger days, and tolerate no type of stupidity penalties and all that nonsense, and straighten it out from that aspect, and then just wait, like you guys are saying. We got to do another 3 years to be good. What do you guys think about that?
Well, the first thing is that the problem is, while going to get the Bill Walsh type of offensive genius would be great, none of them want this job. That's part of the problem too, is that there are a lot of people that were like, I'm all set when it comes to coaching the Jets, because the history precedes itself, which is why Aaron Glenn was a guy that wanted this job, even though he was considered a hot commodity as a coordinator. A lot of people thought he was going to be a next head coach being tapped. And he took it on because he had blood in the ground. But there were guys that didn't want anything to do with this job. Why do you think they went with a guy who's never called plays before? Engstrom as an offensive coordinator, so he was with Ben Johnson, so he learned a lot there in Detroit. But it's not like they were able to get anybody of that level. So that's the hardest part now, is this franchise has got so much stink on it that anybody that's worth their weight in gold as a coordinator or as the next bright young superstar, they don't want this job. Like, guys, that's to me is the bigger concern, is how you getting that guy. He doesn't want this job. So you got to stick with your guy and hope he figures it out.
That's a great point that I want to forward when we come back, because you bring up a good point. I want to take it a step further. 1-800-919-3776 number to call. The NFL Binge coming up at the bottom of the hour. A lot of interesting games in Week 6, and it'll continue with maybe, I'm not just saying this, it's going to aggravate Allen, maybe the best team in the NFC playing tonight. It's Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg until 7 right here on ESPN New York.
The FanDuel Sportsbook app is your home for all your favorite NFL bets. From yards to touchdowns to who will win, with FanDuel, any play can be the play of the game. Tonight, FanDuel's giving all customers a 30% profit boost token. That's right. You can get in on the action with a 30% profit boost token this Monday night. So make FanDuel your go-to app for any snap. Just visit FanDuel.com/Rick to bet on the game. Tonight, FanDuel's giving all customers a 30% profit boost token. That's right. You can get in on the action with a 30% profit boost token this Monday night. So make FanDuel your go-to app for any snap. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Must be 21 and older and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions do apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY at 467369.
Why do you go to Princeton Longevity Center?
We go to Princeton Longevity Center because my husband's cardiologist told him having this exam saved his life.
Because somehow 20 turned into 40, and now I need to take my health more seriously. The Princeton Longevity Center designed a program to keep me healthy and active, so 50 and 60 will be no sweat.
Because even though my cholesterol is high, it turned out my arteries are clear. That's a big relief.
Whether you want to make the most of your future years or just want peace of mind, you need the Princeton Longevity Center. Their comprehensive preventive exam combines the latest technology with caring experts to create your personal plan for staying well.
Because I shouldn't have to wait an hour for a 10-minute physical. I go to Princeton Longevity Center because I get everything done in one day and take my results home with me.
Find out why you need Princeton Longevity. Call 888-8000-PLC or go to PrincetonLongevityCenter.com. Call 888-8000-PLC. That's 888-8000-PLC.
You ever wake up with a sore throat, feeling a little off, and you know you're getting sick? Well, getting sick and going on the IL isn't an option, especially for me when I'm traveling for work. You can try to see a doctor, well, good luck there, or go sit for hours in an urgent care. Nope. That's why you need a medical emergency kit. This isn't some cheap first aid kit, okay? Your medical emergency kit comes packed with doctor-prescribed meds. It's like having an urgent care and a pharmacy right there in your home. If you're coming down with the flu, bam, here's your Z-Pack. You've got gastrointestinal issues, here's your Bactrim. From Z-Pak to ivermectin, amoxicillin, and doxycycline to treat strep, pneumonia, sinus infections, UTIs, COVID, and more. It's all right there in your kit. Just match your symptoms to the guide or talk with their telehealth doc. No doctor waiting rooms, no pharmacy lines. Order online in minutes and get $50 off with code SPORTS at urgentcarekit.com/sports. Get yours now at urgentcarekit.com/sports, promo code SPORTS.
Hey, this is Jalen Brunson.
Jalen Brunson for three.
And this is your home for New York Knicks basketball. This is 880 ESPN.
WHSQ and WCBS FM HD2, New York.
4 o'clock in the big city. Don Hahn and Rosenberg guiding you till 7 o'clock. Got the American League Championship Series happening on 10:50. We've got the National League Championship Series beginning right here at 7:30 on 880. Plenty of hockey, basketball. Alan's over at the Garden. I'm here in Columbus. Peter's getting ready for the NFL binge. And to just correct any confusion, Peter, I was talking about your team.
I figured I
heard some kind of snarky comment about Big Bears guy. No, I'm not.
I made a joke. I made a joke about that to the guys here, but I assumed you meant the Commanders. But listen, today is one of those days, right? Like we're figuring out who these teams are. And I a few weeks ago, when the Commanders played the Packers, I thought the Packers were winning the Super Bowl, and it turned out the Commanders stink. And now you fast forward a few weeks later, and you're like, oh, the Packers seem pretty good. And after watching what the Commanders did against the Chargers last week, you go, oh, wait, they may be the same as last year. So tonight is a big game in that regard.
But to mention what Alan was saying about finding the coach, I believe they're sticking. He's not going to eat 4 years after this of a kind. I don't know why. It's never been reported how much he's making, but it's probably pretty significant, right? And that's a lot, even for Woody Johnson. That's a lot of money to pay out the rest of this contract and then pay whoever you're going to bring in.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Alan, you brought up who wants to be here. All right, well, Aaron Glenn wanted to be here. And don't make it seem like Aaron Glenn didn't have suitors. He did. He did well in Detroit. I'm not saying he was highly coveted, but he wanted to come here as a former Jet, came from a program that won. Listen, I wanted Dable and Shane gone before the season started because I felt like we gave him enough rope. But I hated the whole we got to keep these guys because how many times you went through different coaches, Judge only 2 years and Shermer only 2 years and McAdoo only 2 years. No, you got to do it until you find the right guy. But at the same time, 6 games is not enough to judge whether he's the guy or not. Now, I am not going to apologize for how he's coached. He has not coached well. He has not given you a lot of confidence. But you've got to at least ride this out to see where it goes. That's how you find coaches. Usually you don't find these guys and they win right away. All right, it worked for McVay in L.A. But there's been times now we wonder, is he really that good of a coach? Right? I mean, he hasn't won since. Some of his teams in L.A. have underachieved. Shanahan, the same thing. Boy, he can really make a quarterback work, but it's been a while now since San Francisco's been able to put it together. They're kind of an embarrassment right now.
We know they can coach.
We know they can coach, Alan, but can they win?
Well, it's only as good as the talent you have. Shanahan's got that bugaboo right now.
I understand
the ability
that,
to get over the hump and win.
But my point is, even the coaches we think are great can't rub 2 Super Bowl championships together. Right? Those seem to be the 2 gold standards. Young guys, boy, they can win. Well, and they've done well, but even that's had its pitfalls. But yeah, you need talent, of course.
How long did it take Andy Reid?
But look, it took Andy Reid a long time.
Right, but also like here's another great example. In Houston, they got the quarterback in C.J. Stroud. DeMeco Ryans, blood in the ground, was in the beginning considered to be like, wow, what a great job he's doing. Everybody thought he was the next guy, right? And he goes there and they have some success and, you feel like they're on their way. But since then, the Texans have sort of kind of stumbled around now, right?
Yeah.
So
it's hard.
Look, that's it. Nobody wants to hear it, but it's really hard to win in the NFL to that degree. McDermott, does everybody love him in Buffalo?
Well, what do we have to go on? Like, all right, quarterbacks, you go on what they did in college. You find out what they did on their Wonderlic test. You find out what they did at the combine. And even then, it's an inexact science, right? You grab these unless you get an established coach. You're bringing a coordinator from someplace else that's never been a head coach before, and you hope that it comes together. Hey, Bill Parcells handpicked Ray Hanley. How did that work out?
Not good.
You're hoping that he got this one right with Parcells. But
what's your
Bill's
other option,
been in Glenn's ear. You got to give it more than 6 games.
What's your other option? No, I'm saying, like, I agree. You got to give coaches more time, especially in franchises that constantly turn it over, because eventually, I just remember in the old days, I don't remember coaches getting fired that quickly, right? It just felt like the coach was there for a couple of years, and then he kind of figures it out. But there's a million great examples. The other way to go about it, if you don't go with the coordinator who's never been a head coach but looks like he's like the next guy, and then again, look in Minnesota. KOC, that he knows how to coach, man. Right. He's good. Yeah. Or you go retread, which sounds like such a terrible word, doesn't it?
It sounds
retread.
bad.
Oh, the retread. Well, how's the retread working out for you, Peter?
Great. That's the thing. That goes
how's
back.
Mike Vrabel working out in New England?
But doesn't that go back to what you were just talking about? About the quarterback?
Yes.
Because you mentioned McDermott earlier. McDermott's not a good head coach. They got a really good. They have an incredible quarterback. They've made a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
But they have an incredible quarterback, and they've had generally good talent. And look what and they're all right. We don't know if Sirianni's a great coach.
But when Mike Vrabel left Tennessee, they was he lost the team. He's not a good coach. All the things that fell apart for Vrabel made him look bad. But he goes to New England, and he gets it turned around because, A, they do have a quarterback, but B, he knows how to organize it. He's done it already. I know how to get this thing organized. I can get us back on track. And he did it. It's immediate impact. Harbaugh was out of the NFL, but he goes to L.A., and he takes over that franchise, which they had, a young guy who was doing crazy stuff, but they've got talent there. He comes in and gets them organized, gets them competitive again. Right. So the retread that everybody seems to hate. Now, I know Pete Carroll's not exactly tearing it up in Vegas, but as you saw yesterday, when you play against an incompetent team, you win easy because you have a coach that knows how to get you organized and get you ready for a game week after week. Well, Jets never want to do that.
Let's not have the audacity to start talking about what coach can get the Jets to a Super Bowl, and let's just talk about a coach that can get the Jets functioning and winning and finishing above 500 and all that. That's the point, is that we're just trying to see if we can get a coach that knows what he's doing, and it's hard. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to be embarrassed. There's the microscope in New York. And again, maybe Aaron Glenn's going to be awful and get fired soon, but it's going to take some time. It's just going to you have no choice but to be patient and wait.
Woody doesn't want to hire an experienced coach, and I don't know why. I don't know why. He never wants to bring in a guy who has run a team before. 25 years. Think about it. 25 years. Nobody that has done it before.
No, only on an interim, right? The Bulls interim did Miami, so did Gase.
That doesn't count. Interims don't count.
Listen, both organizations. Shermer had some experience in Cleveland, but it seems like these. I don't know what it is. I don't know whether it's because it's cheap, or whether the owners want to have some sort of control. Because when you come in with a bunch of rings, listen, Andy Reid runs that team, right? So because he came in with 4 straight championship games in Philadelphia and went to a Super Bowl, I guess Woody doesn't want somebody that's going to suck up all the oxygen, I guess.
Right. But suck up all the oxygen you want if we win. But why do you care? If you told me I'm not allowed in the building, if you locked me out of my own building, but you're winning 10 games, 15, 12 games, whatever it is a year, fine. I'll stay out of the building.
We might have had this conversation before.
Win.
Isn't that kind of how it works in New York? Like the Rangers' one cup came with Mike Keenan, who had won in Philadelphia and won in Chicago, or at least went to a Stanley Cup final there, and then won here, right? When was the greatest success the Knicks had? Pat Riley.
Yeah, but also think about this. Tom Thibodeau. Retread. The dirty word, right? Mike Brown. Retread. We'll see what happens this year with him, but like there's nothing wrong with it if the guy gets you organized and gets you right. When you're a bad franchise, that's what you need. Not a guy who's over his head, who's never done it before, who walks in going, I can handle it, and then realizes, oh, my God, this is overwhelming. Yeah, because you don't know until you know. You cannot just have somebody with zero experience walk into places like this, either New York or a place that is so bad and has been losing for so many years, that it's going to take a lot to turn it around. And the first thing you need to do is, before we even talk about let's just get organized. Let's just become competent.
But
and experienced coaches do that.
But with Woody, I don't want to chase the hot girl. I don't want to be told no. All right, so I'm going to go after the inexperienced coaches because they're more apt to say yes. Do I want the embarrassment of going after a big name coach and being told no? I'm not want to coach there.
Oh, I see.
I don't know.
Maybe they were.
But guys, I'm willing to have the conversation if you are. I would be absolutely floored if Glenn doesn't at least last 2 years here.
I'm
at
with
least
you.
2 years.
I'm with you.
But let me throw. But what if it ends up being? What if we get to I know this sounds crazy, but what if we get to 0-12, 0-13? At what point do you go, you know what? All right, if we're really staring a no-win season in the face,
Peter,
that changes.
In Detroit, they were 0-10-1.
I know.
They were
Detroit.
Horrifically bad that year. Horrifically bad, and the guy said biting kneecaps into win.
Honestly, I think there are people in the Jets organization that would chloroform Woody if he wanted to fire Glenn. I don't think they let him do it. I think they have made a commitment as an organization that this is our guy. Now, at some point, they're going to have to pull the plug, but it's not going to be 6 weeks in. It's not going to be 1 year in. Maybe after a second failed year. But they gave this a 5-year contract, guys.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I think he quits before they fire him.
That might happen. Maybe he just walks away and says, "This isn't for me. I'm just going to be a defensive coordinator."
Yeah, he's just like, you know what? There's just too much going on here. He can even blame the owner, whatever it is.
He doesn't look like that type of personality to do that.
But he survived a 3-13 season.
But and that's all they talk about. He brought it up again yesterday in the post-game press conference.
It's all he's got.
Because I believe in my heart, I can't prove this to anybody, but I usually have a pretty good instinct doing this for 30 years. I think they saw this coming. They did. So I don't think there's the panic in that room. I don't think there's the embarrassment in the room that we think there is, because I believe they saw this was on the table as a possibility, and they were willing to go with it. And that's why they told Woody, don't get freaked out. This is our guy.
What's the what? And this is going to sound like excuse making, but it's just because I'm thinking of things. What's their point differential?
I'll tell you right now. You ready?
Their point differential per game has got to be
minus 47.
It's worse than I thought.
But I mean, listen, the Bengals are minus 80, and they're 2-4.
Well, it's okay. I'm trying to put it in perspective because it does feel like at least
Titans are minus 78.
The one game was just a disaster, but they've been in games.
Listen, they were
which means
in the
it's like
Steeler
they
game,
can't
should have won.
Finish, which bad teams can't finish.
Right. They were in the Steeler game, should have won it. They had a lead late in the fourth quarter against the Bucs, didn't win it. Lost by 2 points yesterday, and with any kind of competence, at least set up for a game-winning field goal in that game. So that's 3. That's half your games right there.
Yeah, there you go.
All right? As much as I was having fun during the couch cast, they weren't beating Miami, although that was a one-possession game. They got blown out by Buffalo and blown out by Dallas.
Yeah.
So
the Dallas game was the embarrassing one.
Especially when you see Dallas since then, right? I mean, although that Carolina, that Carolina team's not bad, man.
Yep.
I watched a lot of that game. They're not good, but anybody just circling that as a definite win.
Dallas's defense is, but their secondary can't tackle. No, they're pathetic.
They're bad. Gary Myers reached out to me, and he knows the history better than I do. He said that George Young handpicked Ray Hanley, not Parcells. My memory was that Parcells was on board, but whether he was handpicked, Gary would know better than me. But I wanted to get that
Parcells
out there.
handpicked Belichick for the Jet job.
Yes.
That didn't
but maybe Gary can let me know. I did think Bill was on board. It was asked, but maybe he was just being kind. I don't know, but and George and Bill did not get along. I think ever, but certainly towards the end there. So George was going to win any face-off by the time it got to that. 1-800-919-3776. Let's go to Jimmy in Los Angeles. You're on ESPN New York. What's up, Jimmy?
Hi, Don. Hi, Alan. Hi, Peter. First, Don, congratulations on the Devils' success.
Thank you.
There. I've been following the Jets since I was 12 years old. I'm 70, so I became a fan about in 67 or 68. I had season tickets from 75 through 2010, and I think you said, Alan, I'm at a point where I'm spent. I mean, it's like. If there's something better for me to do on a Sunday morning now, I'm going to do it because it's just so frustrating. And my theory is that I don't think the Jets are an attractive place, given the owner, given the franchise, a destination for an experienced head coach. There's no way, and we could argue the point. Mike Vrabel was not coming to the New York Jets.
Nope.
Number one. Ben Johnson was not going to come to the New York Jets.
Definitely not. He told him no.
There's no way that Jim Harbaugh was going to come to the New York Jets when he wanted to leave Michigan 2 years ago. And no way that Pete Carroll was going to come back.
Jimmy, I'll give you the only coach. Jimmy, I'll give you the only experienced head coach who has coached in multiple spots that would take this job. You know who it is?
Who?
Rex Ryan.
Yes.
The only one.
Yeah, he would take it if they offered it to him.
And they didn't even talk to him. Barely talk. I think they gave him like a token interview. Now, could you argue that the Jets right now would have a better record than 0-6 if Rex Ryan was the head coach?
Yes.
Yeah.
You could.
Yeah.
No, I think you would because there'd be experience.
They wouldn't have done some of the things they did also.
Yeah, because I think we get so caught up in what these coordinators bring to the table as far as their level of expertise, but there is an art to 2-minute drives and making decisions on timeouts and whether to go for two and all that. And it kind of makes sense, guys, that an inexperienced coach would probably screw that up, right?
Yes.
So Rex having coached in this league, well, how many years with the Jets? It was, 09 through 14 and then the couple of years with Buffalo. Just experience alone, I think, wins them that game yesterday.
Mm-hmm. You don't know whether the coordinator, how many times he's vetoed by the head coach when a play is sent in. How many times has a head coach got the headset and he hears the call and he goes, no, do this.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know.
You can only judge them on, like, even Dable. Okay, well, Dable, look what he did with Josh Allen. Now, we don't know if he's responsible for Josh Allen, but even if he was, okay, he's good he's a quarterback whisperer. But there's a lot of other things to go into the job, but making the quarterback better. There's a lot of in-game decisions, game planning, a lot. It's a very, very difficult job.
I'm with you,
and the greatest
Donnie.
coordinators of all time haven't been able to do it.
I'm with you on the idea that whether Jets fans like it or not, you got to settle in with this head coach, with Aaron Glenn. He's got to figure it out. His career, by the way, trajectory since he left the job he was doing after football and just decided, I want to be a coach, I need to get back in the sport, and started at the ground when he was a scout. He moved up fast, which tells you he's a quick learner. He's figured things out, and he got to a point where he was defensive coordinator on one of the top teams in the NFL. You got to feel like he'll get it right at some point. He'll be a guy that learns it. But you got to go through the pain and the struggle. I've always said, we always talk about players developing. We never give a coach time to develop. It's always going to be like, win now or you're out. You should know. You should know. Well, just like a young quarterback, he's got to figure it out. He needs reps. He's got to understand how this works.
Yeah.
I think a head coach is the same way. So if you're ever going to give anybody a little bit of rope, don't you think it has to be a guy that actually played here, had some pride in the organization, wanted to coach here? So I'm not ready to run him out of town at all. But I do know that the marriage to Justin Fields is one that should be tenuous. It should not be something that they dig deep in.
Oh, it was always tenuous. I don't.
It wasn't when they brought him in.
Oh,
they wanted it to work.
They wanted it to work.
But you got to know what you got here, and it's not much.
That was a Vegas wedding. It was hey, we're having fun. This could work out. Why not? Give it a shot. Me and you, $20 million. Let's make it work. If it doesn't work, guess what? We'll sober up and get divorced. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I am all for the organization saying we want to ride it out with Justin Fields. If it's just to keep Wilson happy, that's not a reason. Because the rest of the team's probably
Garrett
like,
doesn't look happy to me.
Well, was it because of who his quarterback was, or because of the play calling? He
was mad at the play. He was mad at how the half ended. That they basically took a knee.
Yeah, at the very least, and listen, he said after the game it was because he didn't want to give Denver the ball back. He admitted earlier today that he made a mistake. At the very minimum, guys, just heave up a Hail Mary. Ball's midfield. Something. Maybe you get a defensive hold. Maybe you get a pass interference. Maybe they catch it. Who knows? Anything. That was a debacle. But one of the things I do, whatever sport it is, the question I've been asking on the air, or if I'm covering a game, Alan, I'm sure you've done it, Peter, is whenever somebody is in his second or third year, it's like, how much better are you now than when you first got called up?
Oh, yeah.
It's always a great question because it's interesting to get the answer, but the answer usually is always, I'm way better. I know this more. The same works for coaches. Aaron Glenn's going to look back and he's going to cringe in a few years that he did what he did. You hope. And maybe it's a learning experience. If it keeps happening, guys, and he's just as bad a coach in Week 17 as he was yesterday, well, then I'll be with you. That maybe this is something that you need to revisit. But right now, you make mistakes, you learn from them, and that happens to the best.
You want to hear this, Don? You want to hear Garrett Wilson on the play call at the end of the half?
Yes.
Here's Garrett.
I just didn't know exactly what the plan was. Thought once we converted the fourth down, I just thought we were going for the, trying to make the play, and then obviously we get to another fourth down, and it's a tough spot to be in. So in hindsight, I get why they did that, but in the moment, I was just like, I don't know.
Yeah, no plan. I mean, we can criticize any plan, but when there's no plan, that's
really
bad.
The plan showed you the lack of trust in what he had on the field. He did not trust Justin Fields in that moment, and that would have told you he doesn't trust his quarterback to make a play. So I'm guessing that means at halftime they're probably going to change the quarterback. And he's thinking, we got the ball to start the third. Let's just go fresh. We'll go with Tyrod Taylor, and let's see if we can make something happen there rather than him throw another duck and it's going the other way, or it's a turnover on downs. They've got timeouts, and maybe they take a shot. Now they score, and we make a mistake. He showed you a lack of trust and confidence in what he had on the field. But then he didn't make a change.
Yeah.
Which was really surprising.
And why? And that's why I wonder how much of that is that there's other people controlling his decisions.
Eesh.
And then you wonder what was the real reason that Fields was brought here. And was this all just kind of a, under-the-table deal of, hey, we'll give you a contract and we'll make sure you're happy because we'll have your quarterback until we turn the corner. I don't like those types of things, Alan. I want the coaches and the general manager to make the decisions on personnel, but is this just a way to make Garrett Wilson happy?
I don't know. All I know is my hashtag is less for more.
Yeah. Well, we got more football, but just not Jet football.
Thank God you mean real football.
Oh, thank you.
And it's coming up next here on Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg on ESPN New York.
There's nothing the voice in our head obsesses over like our health. But with over 100 lab tests and insights, Function can help answer the questions like, why am I so tired all the time? How can I get better sleep? My friend was telling me about magnesium gummies she takes. Know if my heart is work stress affected? It's time to up my cardio. If my mom has something, how will I find out? It's time to get some blood work done. A Function membership gives you a comprehensive health check with results tracked over time. Find out what you're made of at functionhealth.com.
Serving contractors, builders, and homeowners in the tri-state area since 1987, Brooklyn Window & Door is New York City's largest stocking dealer of quality Andersen window and doors. The professionals at Brooklyn Window & Door will help solve any of your window replacement needs or applications. Visit Brooklyn Window & Door's award-winning showroom to see the complete Andersen product line, including the 400, 100, A&E series. Andersen, built, backed, and serviced like no other window.
Visit Brooklyn Window & Door at 185 30th Street in Brooklyn or call 718-WINDOWS.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
The Association on Aging in New York is celebrating the 60th anniversary of the Older Americans Act, which funds vital programs for millions of older adults. Services include meals, transportation, home care, Medicare counseling, case management, and caregiver support. Today, people are uncertain whether some programs remain available. We can help. To learn more about these essential programs and how to keep them, visit our website at agingny.org. Sponsored by the Association on Aging in New York.
Score a win this game day with Amazon Pickup, the MVP of package pickup. Need that new football jersey for the big matchup? With Amazon Pickup, you can collect your order from secure Amazon lockers or counters near you on your schedule. Whether you're running from work or home or straight to the tailgate, Amazon Pickup makes it easy and worry-free at no extra cost. Don't miss kickoff. Grab your gear and your packages when it works for you. Find your nearest Amazon Pickup location at amazon.com/pickupmvp. That's amazon.com/pickupmvp.
And now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks so much, guys. Islanders game wrapped up not too long ago over at the UBS Arena, and not so great on the Cross Island. Southbound heading into Nassau County, picking up a crash on the ramp to the eastbound Southern State. You're bumper to bumper from Hillside Avenue in Queens. Northbound side, just some minor pockets of slowdowns heading over to the Bronx-bound Throgs Neck Bridge. Much lighter than normal on all of your approaches heading over to the outbound George. Heaviest ride cross Bronx westbound. Stop and go from the Sheridan through to underneath the apartments. Inbound George about 5 to 10 for both the upper and lower decks. Outbound Lincoln about a 5 to 10 minute ride. Outbound Honer in you 10 to 15. Over in Jersey, Route 4 eastbound, jam with a crash by Teaneck Road in Teaneck. Delays go back into Hackensack. This report is sponsored by the New York City Department of Transportation. Speeding ruins lives. Drivers, watch out for pedestrians and cyclists and slow your turns to less than 5 miles an hour. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
Coach Saban here, and let me tell you, every second matters. Preparation is everything, and that's why I trust Kidde Smoke Alarms.
And as North America's #1 home fire safety brand, they're built to respond over 25% faster to smoke detection. Kidde helps protect what matters the most. Find it at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. #1 claim based on total household installations as of December 2023. 29% faster average smoke detection based on internal testing of smoldering wood fires for Kidde 9th edition versus leading competitor 8th edition products.
Who knew caffeine could taste this good? With 5-Hour Energy Shots, caffeine just got a serious flavor upgrade. We're talking big flavor, from watermelon to strawberry, banana to sour apple, packed into a tiny 2-ounce bottle. You'll get as much caffeine as a 12-ounce premium cup of coffee with 0 sugar and 0 crash. And with 17 bold flavors to choose from, there's a shot for every mood. Find your favorite flavor in-store today or grab a variety pack online at 5hourenergy.com or on Amazon and give your caffeine a flavor upgrade.
This is the NFL Binge.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am back from Perth, Australia, and ready to binge. I got to tell you guys, I was able to binge a little bit on the plane yesterday. I was on Qatar Airways, and they have that Elon Musk internet, Starlink, on the plane. Have you guys experienced this yet?
No.
Is it super fast?
Dude, I mean, enough that I was streaming my DirecTV app, just watching foosball.
Wow.
Yeah, threw up a little VPN, and then logged into my DirecTV, so I was able to watch the Jets be horrible. I don't know, over the Indian Ocean somewhere. So everyone was able to binge on some foosball yesterday, and the Jets game was horrifying, but there were entertaining games. The Chargers, back in the win column. They squeak by the Dolphins 29-27. But the story came after the game, the big story that is, with Tua Tagovailoa saying this.
I think it starts with the leadership in helping articulate that for the guys, and then what we're expecting out of the guys, right? We're expecting this. Are we getting that? Are we not getting that? We have guys showing up to player-only meetings late, guys not showing up to player-only meetings. Like, there's a lot that goes into that. Do we have to make this mandatory? Do we not have to make this mandatory? So it's a lot of things of that nature that we got to get cleaned up, and it starts with the little things like that.
To be clear, you're saying some players were late or missed?
Late, yeah.
I'm confused, though, because you're taking a shot at leadership, but then when you say players show up to a players-only meeting, show up late to a players-only meeting, guys.
But he's not talking about coaching. He's talking about player leadership.
Yeah.
He's talking about the locker room. They got problems with that roster. They got guys on the team that don't care. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, but if you're saying – well, I guess what I'm saying is –
I think he's talking about Ty Hill.
But you're the quarterback. If you're talking about player leadership not being good –
yeah, that's you.
That's you. Yeah. There's no higher leader.
Yeah, exactly.
It's got a little weird. McDaniels was asked about it. Here's what McDaniels said.
Yeah, player-led meetings are extra
things outside of what I demand. We've been very accountable. To me, it sounds like there was something on his mind with regard to the specific meetings with a couple individuals that he was trying to get corrected by being with direct communication. So I think that's the only way to lead. As far as where we've been at as a program, I think we've opened the air on all of that, and it's very clear how we hold people accountable and, you know, what's non-negotiable with all those things. So clearly he's sending a message.
Clearly. You think Hill's part of this problem?
Well, but he's not there now.
Yeah, he's gone, right? With
well,
the knee injury.
Unless he may not be texting you quickly from his couch.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that injury. Well, it just seemed like he was one of the guys that was checked out when it comes to the team.
Well, listen,
last year.
No, it did.
But he can't. Then obviously he's not the only one. They got a problem there.
Tua's not going after the coach because I think they checked out on him a long time ago.
Yeah, he doesn't even know who's coaching anymore.
So the players are all trying to take care of business until the inevitable axe falls on McDaniel, and that's hard to do. So I understand what you're saying, Peter. The quarterback should take over that leadership, but it sounds to me like these player-only meetings were probably to talk about how are we going to deal with not being coached, and none of these players really seem to be interested. I think they're just trying to get through this.
Man, it can happen quick in the NFL. You know, listen, there was a moment when Jerry Jones was very excited to see Rico Dowdle just going off, and then he realized he's no longer on the Cowboys. He's been traded.
First down and 10 from the 36 of Dallas. ETN remains in the game. Orbit motion again. Shotgun snap. Fake to Dowdle. Young backpedaling. Flush to his left. Throws downfield. Dowdle wide open. 10, 5. Touchdown, Rico Dowdle. Buckle up.
239 yards from scrimmage against his former team. The Panthers pull off the upset. And the Cowboys, just when you think you're starting to figure out who these teams are, guys, the Panthers looked like the absolute worst team in the league. The Cowboys looked like they were going the right direction. And they end up getting outscored by the Panthers yesterday. Just a weird league, guys. You think by November we'll know who these teams are? Maybe by November.
Well, I think we know Dallas isn't good.
There you go, Don.
Dallas is not a good team, and it's frustrating watching that game because it was great because we had a day off in Columbus, so the whole crew went to a restaurant. I just spent the entire day watching football.
Wait,
Peter,
I've
never gone to a restaurant, had lunch and dinner in the same day.
You've never done that?
I've never done that.
I love what you've done, and let's just talk about for Don what a beautiful thing this is, because if Don's home, he is committed to all things the kids.
Yep.
And when you're on the road with the day off, there's nothing you can do, like, for the kids. Like, you're going to do what you're going to do. So you got to have a pure, unadulterated, old school football. How good was it, Don?
It's like the exact opposite. If I were home with the Jets being at 9:30 and that game is over at like 12:30 and no Giants, then I would have been doing anything but football.
Right.
But instead, it was the complete polar opposite. Every game on.
Oh, look at you.
You know, get there at 1 o'clock. You're leaving at 7:30. I didn't stay for the late game. I went back to the hotel.
We had one of these Sundays in L.A.
Oh, it's great. And then it's over by 4:30.
Oh, it was the best. But, you know, even better is when you checked in with Nancy during the day when you're like, I'm bored. It's just the worst.
Yeah, babe, I miss you.
You never want to be like, this is great. I'm just sitting here. I got my own table. I've been here all day. This is all. No, you're like,
the guys dragged me out to watch some football, so I'm going to do this for a while.
God, I wish I was there.
Hopefully somebody gets the bill so I can get the hell out of here.
Yeah,
and go back and
go back to the room and start prepping.
You know,
nice lives.
And yesterday it was like 70, not a cloud in the sky. Meanwhile, the nor'easter's on its way to New Jersey. It was rough.
Batten down the hatches at home, and you're like, oh, sorry about that.
But watching that Cowboy game, and it's frustrating, Peter, because if the Giants had taken care of business against the Saints and the Cowboys, which is not asking a lot, think of what a great situation they'd be in. Wins in the division against the Cowboys and the Eagles, and they'd be ahead of two of the three teams, and as far as tiebreakers, it just it was so. As much as I love watching the Cowboys lose,
it's almost annoying, and to know if you'd had that win, which they could have so easily had. All right, a battle of 4-1 teams somehow, with a lot of injuries, and the Bucs end up coming out on top yet again. They continue to roll. Here's how it sounded on 98 Rock in Tampa.
Shotgun look, Tucker in the backfield in motion. Baker Mayfield, belt high snap, looks upfield, throws the ball downfield. He's got a receiver open. It's a caught ball. Touchdown Tampa Bay. Touchdown Buccaneers. It's Tez Johnson. Touchdown Buccaneers. What a throw by Baker Mayfield.
Catch was insane, by the way.
Yeah, by the way, Baker was insane in general. The Niners lose Fred Warner for the year with an ankle injury.
Not good.
Also, Tampa rookie standout Emeka Egbuka left the game with a hamstring injury. But the story, of course, is another incredible game for Baker Mayfield, who's making a truly legitimate case for MVP, except his teammate, Tez Johnson, who had his first good game yesterday, thought the MVP chants were for him.
When I score and I hit MVP chant, I'm thinking they talking about me. So I asked Shep, I'm like, Shep, they was chanting MVP? And he was like, yeah. I was like, I ain't do nothing this year. And then he was like, they talking about Baker, Tez. I was like, well, that explains it. But he is the MVP. I'm just like, oh my God, he's a dog. I don't know what he put in his cereal before the game. Like, that guy on it every single week.
I love that he told the story that he admitted,
that.
like, how is that stupid? I thought it was for me. He's got no filter, man.
No, and honestly then goes, I haven't even done anything this year.
Oh, that was great.
I think he has 100 total yards this year. Yesterday he had 45, but he's
that
like...
catch was something.
Baker's doing this in Can you imagine if Baker Mayfield played in New York? Can you imagine if he played for the Cowboys?
Oh, his moxie, his
I mean,
whole
he
thing,
is so
what he's got going
amazing.
on. Yeah.
No, you know what I'd imagine, Don? I imagine if he'd played in New York or probably in Dallas, he never would have become who he became.
Maybe
he would have continued to flounder.
Well, I think what Don's
Which New York
saying
team?
is what if he like he signed with Tampa and kind of like did they trade for him first? Remember, he came later in that year, right?
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yep. And then he earned his deal and signed.
And then kind of like played well enough for them to say, we want to keep you around. And then he's really.
You mean if once he was already established, he was here. And you got to have him. Oh, he'd be so popular. That guy.
He'd be the man.
Listen.
It'd be Aaron Judge, Jalen Brunson, and Baker Mayfield. It'd be the three most popular athletes in New York.
Don, look at what people are doing for Jackson Dart already.
Well, that's why I brought it up.
Baker in one game this year will have eclipsed everything Jackson Dart has done. The plays that make people get happy for Dart, that's a first half for Baker Mayfield. Like, he's running when he needs to. He has such an underrated cannon, too. He's really got it all.
He can throw. Whoa.
I don't think this is hyperbole. You could make a movie about him. I mean, he was dead how many different times?
No, once he wins a Super Bowl, he's got to get himself a Super Bowl. Now you got your story.
And listen,
right,
when you
just so
look
you
at how
guys know-
wide open this NFC is, can you say that that's not on the table?
Oh, it's on the table. Sure.
Just so you guys know, to be clear, so he did end up signing with Tampa in the offseason. They actually bet on him after he had that little renaissance from Carolina to the Rams. That's what it was. And, Don, you brought that up. He showed up with the Rams, and, within a day he had to start right away and played really well. And what he showed with L.A., I think, is what made Tampa say they wanted to take a chance on him. And it's been one of the smartest moves they've ever made. Other than, of course, bringing in Tom Brady.
By the way, speaking of which, and this isn't part of my binge, but I'll throw it in there because you mentioned Carolina, which made me think of Darnold. Seattle goes on the road, wins against Jacksonville. I get that game wrong. Sam Darnold, 16-27, 295, 2 touchdowns, no picks, another win. Seattle's up to 4-2.
I actually had a question about that, Peter.
Go ahead.
Because usually when you if somebody's not here, I try to give the reasoning. I couldn't figure yours out because you've been so high on Sam Darnold.
I love Sam.
And you didn't pick him. Were you just high on the Jaguars beating the Chiefs, and you thought they were just going to ride that momentum?
Correct.
Okay, I was right then. All right.
It was a thank you. It was one of those Jeter baskets to the Jaguars for beating the Chiefs.
And Jaguars at home, and they've been pretty good. I mean, the Jaguars were at that point only one loss. I just liked them at home. And I'd gone up against Seattle a couple weeks in a row, so for some reason I was having an anti-Seattle moment. By the way, I got screwed over by Detroit and the referees. Let's get to that. Sunday Night Football, Chiefs bounce back from that loss in Jacksonville with a 30-17 win over the Lions. Kansas City's second game with 30 or more points this season, which matches their total from all of last season. Mahomes, 4 touchdowns, including 2 to Hollywood Brown. Here's how the second one sounded on 96.5, the game.
Pacheco motioning left. Mahomes in the pocket. Darts it near side. Caught. Touchdown! Kansas City. Hollywood Brown is having a night. And the Chiefs answer a touchdown with a touchdown to go up 26-17.
Now, after the game, Lions safety Brian Branch slapped Juju Smith-Schuster, blindsided him. Dan Campbell talked about it with the media after the game.
I love Brian Branch, but what he did is inexcusable, and it's not going to be accepted here. It's not what we do. It's not what we're about. I apologize to Coach Reed and the Chiefs and Schuster. That's not okay. That's not what we do here, and it's not going to be okay. He knows it. Our team knows it, and that's not what we do.
Was that a head coach saying,
That's a coach,
I love someone, but holding them accountable?
Yeah.
Wow.
Fantastic. And also, you know why? Because you know what Dan Campbell's doing there? He's saying that's not what our organization's going to be about. That's not what we represent, and we're going to make that clear. We're going to be class organization. I love everything about that.
Me too.
So I might lose the player for a minute, but everybody knows what we're about. You saw, too, Mahomes went over to Branch at the end of the game, tried to, dap him up, and he ignored
blew
him.
right by him.
And then he went right, because he went right for Schuster. Oh. Yeah.
Lions had a touchdown taken off the board yesterday. No penalties on the Chiefs yesterday in 60 minutes of football. They get the 30-17 win.
It's hard to believe, but I guess
they
they
want
just
them to
must have been
win.
very disciplined.
It's weird, right, Don? It's just that extra level of discipline. Now, tonight's action, we got an ESPN ABC doubleheader, 7:15. The Bills at the Falcons, and then the Hail Mary rematch at 8:15. You know where the Rosenberg household will be locked in. Bears at the Commanders. Caleb Williams versus Jaden Daniels. That'll do it for your NFL binge.
Nicely done.
Week 6 already, guys. Week 6.
Yeah, and, it just shows you just how wide open it is. Like, who is the best team in the NFC? And I think Washington certainly is in the conversation if they can take care of business tonight. Remember, their one loss came without their starting quarterback.
No, 2. We have 2 losses, sorry.
Well, one of the losses came without your starting quarterback.
One was against Green Bay where he seemed outmatched. Then Jaden got hurt, and then they lost one without him.
But
would you put
Green Bay does not look like what they were supposed to be. Sorry, Alan.
They don't, and you're right. And I was, to me, I'm thinking, if you're going to, let's just do NFC here, and then on the other side if you want to do AFC. But, is Washington and Detroit equal? Are the Eagles below both of them now because of what the Eagles have looked like? And now we start to wonder if there are some issues internally in Philadelphia that take down the Super Bowl champs and make you think that they might fade a little here, right? Like Detroit, but despite the loss, they've been really good. They got to get healthy.
Yeah, their secondary is really banged up, and Chris Collinsworth mentioned it last night. Once those guys get back healthy, they could go on a tear. So I think Detroit's fine. I think Washington is outstanding. Philadelphia looks broken.
But they're still on top in the division.
But we'll get into the AFC next too.
And don't forget Tampa's 5-1 now. Tampa's got some issues too, and they're hanging on by the skin of their teeth. But they're 5-1.
They're not in a great division, but still, they're winning games. They're finding a way. They got the quarterback play, and Bowles has been coaching. I think it's really wide open. We'll look at the AFC too. Your phone calls at 1-800-919-3776. We got ENN coming up at 6. Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg until 7 right here on ESPN New York.
This is DiPietro and Rothenberg.
Fields avoids the sack until he can't.
I want off the ride. I want off. We put ourselves in this hole. We're 0-6, but we're going to continue to work and get better.
I can't take it anymore, man.
I hate him. I hate him.
You do. I mean, this is something you're supposed to enjoy and brings me nothing. Zero enjoyment.
I'm still pissed. I don't like to lose. It's very frustrating. I hate losing, and to not crack 100 yards total is kind of crazy.
Got to keep going. There's no other option. We have to keep fighting off. We got to keep building on the positive that we've shown.
Morning Start with DiPietro and Rothenberg. Weekdays from 6 to 10 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
D'Agostino, Law Bite Back. I'm injury attorney John Ryan D'Agostino, nicknamed The Closer, continuing D'Agostino and Associates' legacy of helping the injured for over 35 years. My father, John D'Agostino, built this injury firm to help accident victims.
This is John D'Agostino, and this is a family firm. For us, it's about doing what's right and making sure somebody pays for your pain. Call us first at 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-BITE-BACK.
They call me The Closer because big or small, in court or out, I'm fighting to get the job done, to win, to get you every dollar you deserve.
D'Agostino and Associates has offices throughout New York and New Jersey and will come to you. I've been there and I'll be there for you. Call us first at 1-800-BITE-BACK. 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222.
Don't take slow for an answer. Not so easy when you're stuck in traffic. But mere inches from someone else's bumper, you can dream of faster things. Like Optimum Fiber, the fastest and most reliable fiber internet, starting at $40 a month. So while you can't always switch lanes for a faster route, you can switch providers for a faster connection. Optimum. Don't take slow for an answer. Call 888-4OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com/fiber today. Terms apply. See Optimum.com for details.
This is Bart and Carlin on ESPN New York.
Your spirit is broken because there is nothing worse than being bad and boring. And when offensively, you know what the outcome is going to be. Why do things that look so easy for other teams look so hard for the Jets? When you are at that point of just being awful offensively, that's what makes it unwatchable.
Bart Scott, Chris Carlin, weekdays at 10 a.m. on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
The FanDuel Sportsbook app is your home for all your favorite NFL bets, from yards to touchdowns to who will win. With FanDuel, any play can be the play of the game. Tonight, FanDuel is giving all customers a 30% PBT. That's right, you can get in on the action with a 30% PBT this Monday night. So make FanDuel your go-to app for any snap. Just visit FanDuel.com/K to bet on the game. Tonight, FanDuel is giving all customers a 30% PBT. That's right, you can get in on the action with a 30% PBT this Monday night. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. 21 plus and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with the gambling problem, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
This is an ad by BetterHelp. BetterHelp therapists have helped over 5 million people worldwide on their mental health journeys. That's millions of stories, millions of journeys, and behind every one is a therapist who showed up, listened, and helped someone take a step forward. Moments in therapy, like the right question, a safe space to cry, or a small win, can change lives. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally. And it works. An average rating of 4.9 out of 5 for a live session based on over 1.7 million client reviews. This World Mental Health Day, we're celebrating the therapists who have helped millions of people take a step forward. If you're ready to find the right therapist for you, BetterHelp can help you start that journey. Our fans get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/timeout. That's betterhelp.com/timeout.
The city that never sleeps and never stops talking sports. ESPN New York is always on. Now you can live and breathe everything New York sports wherever you are. On your radio dial, on the ESPN New York app, and streaming live on YouTube. However you watch or listen, ESPN New York is always on for you. Hear us, stream us, watch us. This is ESPN New York.
Peter, while you were away, Alan and I just talked about parity and how sometimes it's frustrating, even though it can be looked upon as exciting that everybody's got a chance to win, not having that clear dominant team. And yesterday was an example of that, of just how many teams have a shot here. And we talked about the NFC. Eagles look broken. Cowboys certainly are broken. Packers are not what we thought they were going to be. The West seems wide open. Is it the Rams? Is it the Seahawks? Tampa Bay has to be given consideration despite the division that they're in. AFC's kind of the same thing. Did Kansas City right their ship last night? Are the Chargers all that we thought they were to start the season? They did win against Miami, but they blew a huge lead in that game. You know, but we'll see Buffalo tonight against Atlanta. You would think they'd handle business there. But, God, it just seems it's so wide open. And Baltimore's cooked, right? I mean, I think Baltimore's done.
I do too.
And Pittsburgh's going to win that division going away, but
well, that's the thing.
I can't imagine that they're going to be – they might not even be a favorite in their first playoff game when they get there.
So I would have believed that the Ravens, you know, they'll get Lamar back, right? They have the Bears next week. Then they're at the Dolphins. Then they're at the Vikings. Like, they have some games they could win in theory. But the hole's so big with how well Pittsburgh's playing. And again, you can get Lamar back all you want. He's not going to play on both sides of the ball.
Exactly. That's the problem.
And they don't
Peter.
play defense. So.
Yeah, their defense is terrible.
So I'm enjoying it. Listen, the Ravens have been good for basically every year since they existed. And in the D.C. area, like, to see so many people I knew who became Ravens fans, and the Commanders were just the worst team. I'm enjoying this a bit. But I imagine next year they'll be back. But here's my question, guys. What does your record get to where you're like, we're barely going to use Lamar this year? You know, when you have a guy like him, a multi-time MVP, who from an offensive standpoint is the difference between you being fantastic or nothing, I wonder, guys, like, if they get to 1-8, how much Cooper Rush are you seeing in the second half of the year? Like, I just wonder how much you use him.
Well, it's the same thing as Joe Burrow, right, in Cincinnati.
If they can't keep the wheels on,
that's what I mean. Like, wouldn't you want to wrap your guy in bubble wrap? He won't want it. But the smart thing to do is just say, you know what, this isn't a year. Let's keep some tread on the tire instead of just having you play for almost no reason.
It's all on
play
Pittsburgh.
For that draft pick, man.
It's all on Pittsburgh. Now, Pittsburgh's at Cincy this week, right? So if Cincy were to somehow steal that game, obviously that could change. They have 3 wins then, right? And
Joe Flacco.
And then Pittsburgh has the Packers, and then they have the Colts, which now looks impossible. Then they're at the Chargers. So the Steelers will get to a very tough part of their schedule, where if you could pull it together and you're Joe Burrow, you're thinking, let me get back there. Because, guys, I could picture a world in which the Steelers look great right now, but the whole thing doesn't stay together the entire season. I can believe it.
Peter, where's the game between the Steelers and the Packers?
That is home for Pittsburgh.
If that's in Green Bay, oh, baby.
Wow.
Yeah.
I tell you, Rodgers can still play, though. He threw some absolute dimes in that game, and it just makes you laugh. Like, nah, the Jets didn't need it.
No, they said we're all set.
I'm not saying that he'd be
good.
doing this here, but it certainly they wouldn't be 0-6, that's for sure. But they obviously had designs on other things.
I mean,
I will
10 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, over 1,000 yards this year. You take that if you're the Jets.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so prorate that out. You know, there's a guy that's going to be high 20s, you know, probably 3,200 yards, maybe more. And then I'll tell you what, I watched the Packers are just not they're not what we thought they were. But, you know, they're blowing out Cleveland, and Flacco's doing nothing in the first half.
Yep.
And he ended up throwing for like a buck, 220, and I'm watching him play, and I'm like, the guy's going to be 41
flicking it
in January, and he can't move.
Mm-hmm.
And yet he still was doing some things against a really good defense. Now, I'm not going to sit there and talk him up like he's great shakes, but boy, it just shows you that position's like 80% experience and smarts, right? Because what has he got left going to be 41 years old? Same thing with Rodgers. Like, Rodgers can move a lot better, and he's in a better state with his body, I think, than Flacco is with his, because Flacco was out of the league and everything. But, you know, given those moments, he made that game a lot more competitive.
All you have to be is accurate, first and foremost, right?
Well, that helps.
Nowhere to throw it, but accuracy. And he's like that. The first touchdown he threw in the back of the end zone, that was some throw. Little sidearm, like not sidearm, but, you know, he just changed the arm angle a little bit. That was a hell of a throw.
But think about how bad a place the Bengals had to be in. That the Browns said, we're all set.
Yeah.
And the Bengals said, ooh, can we get a little Flacco in our lives? God, it is the backup quarterback is such an underrated value if you're a team who believes that with your starter, you can compete for a championship. If you don't have a backup that's like reasonably good, it's professional malfeasance, as Michael Kay might say. You have to have it.
Remember the story went, they didn't know that there was a team calling about him. They didn't know that he was going to get traded. It's not like they wanted to trade him, right?
Right.
The Browns weren't looking to trade him.
Right.
It's interesting, but yeah, I mean, not a bad performance though. No, didn't turn the ball over. All you can ask for is bring someone in who can move the ball down the field, get you into field goal range if you need it, not turn it over. Something the Jets do not have.
Just let's play smart. Play smart football. And he's got good receivers, so he doesn't have to do a ton. Just throw accurately. Try to buy some time. That's why I'm so glad you said about the 9 sacks that that Fields went through. It's so easy to just put everyone on the offensive line, but a lot of these sacks, just the quarterback holding the ball too long, or just not knowing what to do, or not being able to move. A lot of it ends up on the quarterback. So as we talk about this parity right now, as we conclude Week 6, who's going to the Super Bowl?
It's a great question. Great question.
Let's start with Alan Hahn because his first letter is A.
I like this.
Who's going to the we're in the AFC, or are we doing?
No, I'm saying right now, Super Bowl matchup. Now, say it.
Go. Be a man.
Go.
I'm putting Buffalo in. I'm buying Buffalo.
It's hard not to.
Yeah.
This gets tougher.
And then it gets tougher. I want to say Tampa,
Ooh.
but I feel like the magic runs out. It's like at some point. You're gonna pay for having to have every time you're coming back to win late in a game, right?
You'll get a good taste, Alan. They're at the Lions this weekend.
I still am leaning Lions.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that would right now. I would say because it's wide open that we'll get that matchup that we almost got 2 years ago. I'm gonna go Buffalo Detroit. I think Detroit's gonna get healthy just at the right time, and they're gonna get hot just at the right time. And I still think, despite what happened last week against New England, because the Patriots are a little bit better than we're giving them credit for, that it'll finally be the Bills' year. How about you, Peter?
I think I go the same way. I don't think Indy is there. Right? It's a great start.
Are we in agreement?
But I don't at this point now. Here's the only thing. The unfortunate and scary thing is, guys, I could see a world very easily where here we are again, championship weekend. It's Buffalo and Kansas City. They find a way back. They put it together piece by piece, brick by brick. They get the right matchups. You know, they beat Houston one round. They beat Pittsburgh in another. And then here they are playing Buffalo. It would probably be in Buffalo, but we've seen them able to do that before. So that's the only thing that scares me. But I'll go with Buffalo there. I still worry about the Eagles in the NFC. The last 2 weeks they have looked completely lost on, as you've said. But I have to think that as time goes on, they'll probably meet out to still be the Eagles. And with my Commanders, I just got to see more. I love the idea of saying they could compete for the conference.
I think they're there.
Let's talk in a few weeks, though. Let's see that they go at home this week. They're favored by 3.5 against Chicago at home. Let me see that, or 4.5. Let me see that they win the games they should win. And then you'd be saying, hey, we're going to get another. Detroit will get a rematch against Washington. And this time, I'd probably say I'd like Detroit to beat them a second time. And then, if I'm not going to get the Commanders in the Super Bowl, I think the entire league, if your team's not in it, aren't you rooting for Buffalo, Detroit? Isn't that what everyone would love to see?
I think that would be pretty special to see those two franchises that have never won play each other. Would be awesome. All right, let's re-rack at 5. I was really getting irritated yesterday watching social media, seeing the Jets just get eviscerated by their fan base, and I wanted to do a talk show with them. I wanted to hear from them. I wanted to challenge them on their criticisms. So now's the opportunity. Line them up. 1-800-919-3776. All the people that want Glenn fired, all the people that are really upset about yesterday. Let's hear from you. It's Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. Take you up till 7 o'clock here on ESPN New York.
Score a win this game day with Amazon Pickup, the MVP of package pickup. Need that new football jersey for the big matchup? With Amazon Pickup, you can collect your order from secure Amazon lockers or counters near you on your schedule. Whether you're running from work or home or straight to the tailgate, Amazon Pickup makes it easy and worry-free at no extra cost. Don't miss kickoff. Grab your gear and your packages when it works for you. Find your nearest Amazon Pickup location at amazon.com/pickupmvp. That's amazon.com/pickupmvp.
Listen, Never Ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
Now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks so much, guys. Can't catch a break over in Queens. They cleaned up that crash on the ramp to the eastbound Southern State on the southbound Cross Island. Still have some slowdowns there from Hillside Avenue. After that, jam getting onto the westbound belt. It's an accident by Springfield Boulevard. You're down to one lane. Then you're hitting the brakes again westbound. Another hit slowing you down by Knapp Street in Brooklyn. FDR southbound at a standstill on the east side of town. Big collision underneath Gracie Mansion. Only one lane getting by. You're stopped there from the Triborough. Really not too bad heading over to the outbound George on the West Side Highway in southbound Eagan. Inbound Georgia, about 10 to 15 for the upper deck. Outbound Lincoln and Holland tunnels, about 5 to 10 minutes each. This report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you're not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Visit mad.org. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
Knicks fans, opening night is a bounce pass away. Join ESPN New York's Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg live from 3 to 6:30 p.m. from Stout on West 33rd between 6th and 7th. Steps from the Garden. Get ready for the start of Knicks basketball.
Runs it off the dribble. He got it and one.
Be there for special guests, live Knicks talk, and opening night vibes before tip-off. We'll see you at Stout on West 33rd. Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg live from the Knicks home opener. Don't just listen, don't just watch. Be there.
1 in every 6 men is likely to be diagnosed with prostate cancer in his lifetime. That's why New York Presbyterian wants to remind men over 50 to book a prostate cancer screening. A simple blood test is all it takes. It could save your life. Screenings are available across New York City and Westchester at locations near you. Schedule your annual prostate cancer screening today at nyp.org/cancer screening. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian.
There are a lot of reasons why people buy at Ramsey Mazda. It's their selection, it's their customer service, and it's their savings. Lease a new 2025 Mazda CX-5 2.5 S Select for $229 for 36 months. Start shopping now at RamseyMazda.com. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda. Call 833-853-2970 for details. VIN S0595731. MSRP $31,915. Zero security deposit. Ends 10/31/25.
Getting the right mattress helps you sleep at night. Getting the right price helps you sleep even better. At PC Richard & Son, they don't just sell you a mattress. Their experts use a 4-step fitting process to make sure your new bed fits you perfectly. The right fit, the right price, plus free delivery. It's what they do, only at PC Richard & Son. Free delivery on mattresses $199 and up. Excludes Manhattan. See stores for details.
880 ESPN, WHSQ, and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. A Good Karma Brands radio station.
Game time is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time, guys,
It's Charlie time.
early time.
It's
American
Charlie
League-
time.
Get that last little one in there, literally and figuratively. American League Championship Series Game 2 continues tonight. You can hear that on 1050 beginning at 4:30. Matter of fact, it's underway already. We have a score, hon?
I don't think it started yet.
So 4:30 was a lie?
4:30 is when the coverage was, the pregame.
Oh, you know what?
The
Give me
coverage.
a break. Coverage,
sir.
I see starting at. I don't see anything about
Coverage.
That's the coverage.
Begins.
Seattle up one game to
By the
none.
way, we are underway, and it's 0-0 top of the first.
Well, thank you, Alan. The NLCS will get started with Game 1 tonight, and that'll be right here on 880 at 7:30. Islanders are already lost to the Winnipeg Jets this afternoon, 5-2. So the Islanders 0-3 to start the season. Not good.
Brutal.
Knicks have a preseason game against the Wizards. That's at 7:30. Allen's going to be on the call for that. And the Devils are here in Columbus. That's where I am, here at Nationwide Arena for a 7 o'clock face-off as the Devils look to get above 500 after a win against Tampa, 5-3. And I want to thank Alan and Peter for reaching out after the game. I thought that's great because you guys got other things to do. And Peter was all the way on the other side of the planet and managed to watch. So I appreciated the feedback. It was very nice.
It was really a lot of fun, man. Like, it was – first of all, I've already said it. Gracie's a big Devils fan. So she had a great day of volleyball. And then afterwards we got dinner and said, let's get home in time to watch little Devils hockey. And the game was. I mean, first of all, let me ask you. Never mind, you had fun because you were calling first game, regular season game, but that game was fun.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Like, how much fun was that just to call with the amount of goals that were scored, and then of course the frantic ending?
No, it was great because it was 3-0 after one, and the Devils were dominating, and you knew Tampa was going to push back, especially after losing their home opener on Thursday to Ottawa. So they scored 2, could have had more. So you went to the third period, and Bratt scores on a breakaway. Devils make it 5-2, but Tampa makes it 5-3, and they're buzzing. So that was a lot of fun because it's a big difference. I did the 2 preseason games, but preseason's different.
Of course.
And
all right.
TV's way different than radio. Okay, so I appreciate everybody's patience. It's a bit of an adjustment, but I had a ball doing it. And Kenny and Bryce were tremendous to work with. So I appreciated the feedback.
Well, first of all, no reason for criticism of anything of that game because it is the first of it. So it's the first experience, and you have to go through it. And you'll of course make the adjustments along the way. But it was, to me, again, it sounded like you've been doing it for 10 years. Having Bryce and having Dano and the ability to – your radio experience came through because your ability to navigate 2 voices and keep the conversation flowing, and it was a very energetic, fun game. That was all very evident. And then that last minute of madness, you were so on point, which is what it's all about, right? The crescendo of a game, take it to double zeros, you get the win. Like that's exactly what I want if I'm listening. I want to hear the energy in your voice go up, telling me that this right now is an important part, and that all existed. Now we got some goal calls.
Yeah, let's hear. I got you here, Alan. Let's fire up goal one.
Quickly,
come
Peter,
on.
I'm sorry. Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cast matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew and try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly.
All right. So good. Phone lines open to talk all things Jets, 1-800-919-3776. But in the meantime, in between time, Donnie's first regular season goal call. Don't mind if I do.
Heischer gathers it up between the circles. His shot knocked down. Gets the rebound. Shane Vasilevsky rebound. Devils score. They stuck with it, and they beat Vasilevsky. And it's going to be Timo Meier with the Devils' first goal of the game, and they take a 1-0 lead.
Now, keep in mind, it's in Tampa,
that was good.
So you're not going to get a crowd reaction behind him. But it was still great.
Goal number 2 from MSG.
Fritzl, left wing, looking to go coast to coast. He finds Connor Brown, who scores on the deflection, and it's 2-0 New Jersey.
Let me ask you something, Don.
Yes.
Give me the truth, the unfiltered. Did you get? I'll explain why I'm asking, but I'm just curious. After the game, did you get any feedback from anyone?
Yeah.
What kind? Like just people saying like, "Hey, that was great, good job, congrats."
I would say majority positive. There were negatives.
I mean like at work.
Oh no, everybody was happy. They were thrilled. I was happy. Yeah, people from work.
That's all that matters.
People that are in the business. Chico made phone calls. Peter.
Phone call.
Chico made phone calls, and he said that everybody he talked to said thumbs up.
See, that's
Chico
what
Resch I'm talking about. And
yeah.
Devil fans know who that is.
All right, last. Let's get the one to make it 4-2 here.
Kucherov, quick pass. It's intercepted. Here comes Bratt. All alone. Breakaway. Scores! Jesper Bratt gives the Devils a 4-2 lead.
Okay, is that being recorded in the booth or something? That
was definitely a different feed than the.
It's what the Devils posted.
Oh, the Devils. So they must have just taken that one clean. Because the one in the second goal, you hear the crowd.
Yeah, so I was
like, there's a lot
that
more
one.
to
That
it.
one had to be the view of
that
Don.
That had a COVIDity to it, you know. It was kind of like the COVID calls back in the day. No, I was in the building for anybody that's got because that's they're doing it off the monitor. No, I was there.
Yeah.
And a little Danico steppage too.
Gotta have.
It's not just Dave.
I think we all need to get used to it.
But no, it was
Dano steppage is different. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it hits different.
It's aggressive. We love them. We love them.
It was so much fun. So thanks for the feedback from you guys, especially Peter across the planet, Alan on a Saturday. You guys had other things to do, so
no, we didn't.
It was nice that you guys
were locked in, baby.
We had
you were doing that. How did you get there, Peter? Just on the internet?
Yeah, I was just searching for clips, and I was confused because I thought you traveled the day before, And then by the way, you have to remember, my time is so off. I'm 12 hours ahead.
Right.
So everything is confusing about when things are happening. But then I'm like, wait, the Devils had a game. And then I'm like, why'd they only post Sportsnet clips? And then I realized, Don didn't do this game.
Yeah, it was ESPN Plus. It was a John Butchergross vehicle.
It was a Booch vehicle. So then I found it and was rejoicing.
Well, Jet fans unfortunately found their London game at 9:30. I guess the good news is it was over early in the sense that you still have the rest of your day to try to make up for what you had watched. There were good things. They didn't commit a ton of penalties, right? They didn't turn the ball over. They got their first turnover of the year. Defense, I thought, played stellar. That's not a great offensive team in Denver, listen, it's a great defensive team in Denver too, but the offense was the problem, and the coach was the problem too. So, obviously, with the game being over early, I got to see all the stuff on social media of Glenn being eviscerated, including by our colleague here on ESPN, Jake Aspin, who's a tremendous talent, about it's the worst coach the Jets have ever had, and he needs to be fired. You guys got to cool your jets, man, literally and figuratively, all right? They gave him a 5-year contract, which is outrageous for a coach that has never coached before. From what I understand, they've never made public his yearly salary. But from what I understand, it's more than they usually give for a first-time coach. They are invested in this guy. And he's somebody that's got blood in the ground. He's somebody that came from a winning organization in Detroit that also got off to a slow start. He's not going anywhere. And as much as you don't want to do it because you've sat here as a Jet fan, however old you are, going your lifetime without this team ever winning a thing, and you're going to get ready for 15 consecutive years of missing the playoffs. So I understand your patience has been eviscerated. It's dust. It doesn't exist anymore. But you got no choice here, guys. He's not going anywhere, and you got to cut him some slack. He's a first-time head coach. He may not turn out to be a good coach. Odds are he probably will suck like all the rest of them did. But to sit here and destroy him just because you thought this team was going to win 7-8 games, because you put an unfair expectation around this team going in when they told you they weren't going to be any good. The only thing you should be upset about is that they did tell you that it was going to be different, that they were going to be disciplined, and they haven't been outside of yesterday. But guys, you have no choice but to be patient. It may not pay off at the end of the day, but this guy's not going anywhere, and he shouldn't go anywhere. You're only 6 games in. You just hope it's going to get better. Yesterday stunk, and it's going to continue to stink for the rest of this year. But we have seen worse starts from better coaches. So try to find whatever patience you can.
I agree on all points. I think he's going to end up being a good coach if he's given enough time and obviously given more talent. I think there is something to be said, though, about experience. And the problem with the Jets, as I've said many times, it starts at the top. So we can't do the coach thing. You got to keep going up the ladder. The guy doesn't want to bring in somebody with real experience. We've seen around the league teams hiring coaches that have coached elsewhere to success, and then it runs out, and then they lose their job, and then they become available, and other franchises pick them up, and they tend to do pretty well. Peter knows it very well with Dan Quinn. And I mean, you talk about a guy that had to hear about it in Atlanta because of what happened in the Super Bowl, and he can't get away from it. But the guy can coach, clearly. And then you can look at New England, and they get Mike Vrabel, who did a good job in Tennessee, and then it fell apart. But he gets let go, and New England's not stupid. Yes, he's got blood in the ground, but that's a good coach. You bring him in, and look what he's done. He's gotten them organized. All around the league, you're seeing that. There are first-time coaches that do figure it out. Dan Campbell in Detroit is a great example. And, of course, there's a guy that, you look at Aaron and Glenn. They all went through it. The losing. They start out 0-10-1. They finished 3-13-1. That kind of a season is painful, but especially for bad franchises that take a long time to get it right. But they stuck with Dan Campbell even after, the laughing at him about the biting kneecaps and all that stuff. What were we doing with Aaron Glenn in the beginning before the season started with some of his time at the podium and the way he was talking to the media as if he was talking to players, the coach speak, and that kind of bravado. And we were saying, man, you got to stop. Just be yourself. You notice that at the podium, Aaron Glenn's a lot more like himself now than ever before.
Yeah.
He's kind of being honest. He's kind of just trying to explain it. He's being calm. That's all great. It just takes time sometimes. But if you want to blame anybody's organization, it starts at the very top.
Right.
And nothing's going to change until somebody comes in here and overcomes what starts at the top in this organization.
And I really believe this was the game plan. I'm not going to say they're tanking, but I do believe winning is not necessarily the priority.
Not
It's
yet.
just trying to get their ducks in a row, trying to make sure who stays, who goes. I really believe this Jets team is committed for the long haul with this coaching staff. So
What's long haul? Talk to me about long haul.
I don't think they're going to be fazed by a really bad first season. I don't.
Okay.
I don't. Now
So you're saying you got to show something like year 2. We got to see something.
Well,
by the end
I
of year
think
2.
here's how I think it's going to work. Forget the record. Don't care.
All right.
But how does it look the last month of the season? Does it look better than the first? If we see what we saw at the end of the second quarter in week 16, week 17, that's going to send up a red flag that there's an issue here.
Mm-hmm.
So they may not be able to win games, but you want to be able to see that it's getting better. Then in year 2, now you're going to want to see them put it together. So if you start if you go 1-16, guys, and you start next year 0-6, you know what? He's going to be in a lot of trouble. But I think he's locked into getting that second year, and I think that they're committed to Muji. They're committed to Glenn because they've gotten things wrong. They finally went out and got somebody that has connections to the franchise. He's come from a winning organization that also got off to a slow start. And you listen for things, right? Like all these things are not done in a vacuum, guys. When you hear a coach or a player say things, these things were rehearsed before the season started. And you hear Aaron Glenn talking about other coaches that he talked to that got off to slow starts. That was probably said to him when he got the job. It's like, listen, we're with you, man. Don't worry about it. Remember, Bill Parcells won 3 games his first year, and they stuck with him. Look what happened with you in Detroit. 10-1 to start the season, and you were able to turn it around. You know, and there's other examples, too, of it being positive. Listen, Ben McAdoo went 11-5 his first year, and they went to the playoffs and still got fired in his second year because it was Fugazi, right? Dable's still coaching for his job despite being coach of the year in his first year.
Good point.
You've got to take everything in the first year with a grain of salt. It's hard for Jet fans to do that, guys, because they've been sold this bill of goods for literally 60 years. And it's going to be a 15th consecutive year of missing the playoffs. So it's hard, man. And you don't know if it's going to work out. It may still not work out. But I believe this organization is committed to being patient. That's why you didn't hear a lot of hype during the offseason. That's why they got rid of Rodgers, because Rodgers would have included a lot of expectations. And we'll see if it works out. But, listen, it makes you feel better to eviscerate the team. Finally, you woke up because you've been complacent for the last couple of weeks. So I'm kind of happy Jet fans are fired up.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But you're going to go back to being complacent again, and it's going to stink. But it's hard, but you just have no choice but to be patient. I think there's still a chance for this to work out.
You can't
I have
tell
nothing
a Jet
to go
fan
on,
to be
but
patient.
what are you going to do?
Yeah, but you can't tell a Jet fan to be patient because their response is going to be, I've been waiting for 15 years just to be relevant again, and that's a real thing, and I completely understand it. So while we're saying that it's going to take time, I understand why you tell it. Like, you guys know me. Like, when going into the season, was numb. I had no expectations. I had no anticipation. I almost just wanted to get this year over with because I didn't think they were going to be good. I didn't think the quarterback was going to be the answer. And it's a frustrating cycle that you keep going through, that you keep waiting for someone who's going to hit as a quarterback. Who's going to hit? They've gone through so many of them. So I'm not being patient. I'm being apathetic. That might be the worst feeling to have as a fan, where I'm apathetic.
Right.
It's a sad place to be, but it's the only place I can go right now as a fan without losing my mind.
I thought about this. I wanted to bring this up to you, especially you as a Jet fan. Now, we all know why they didn't bring Rodgers back.
Yes.
They wanted Glenn to have a clean slate, no expectations, and they wanted Glenn
and they didn't
to
want
have
another strong personality in that locker room.
Exactly.
Glenn wanted to be the only
You're
strong
right.
personality.
And that was the modus operandi. That's why they did that.
Yep.
But you wonder if you kept Rodgers, and Rodgers wanted to stay, would it have helped? It would have been another alpha dog in the room. I get that. But it would have been experience in an area that is not Aaron Glenn's expertise, right? Could it have helped him to have another adult in the room with an inexperienced offensive coordinator? He has no experience as a head coach. Younger team. Hey, Aaron, you're getting towards the end here. Can you be a bit of a mentor? Can you help me out? Could Rodgers have been – we thought of him as a detriment because he's such a big ego, but would his experience, especially on the offensive side of the ball, been a help to the inexperience they had? Could that have been a way they went? Might not have helped as far as making the playoffs, but –
Right, but then where are you going?
Well, where are you going now? You're not developing a quarterback. Like I was all for Justin Fields when I thought they were developing him. They're not developing him. So
Literally.
you're not. You're nothing. You're still looking for a quarterback. Whether it was going to be Aaron Rodgers or Justin Fields or Tyrod Taylor, you're still looking for a quarterback, no matter what your record's going to be.
Yeah.
Would that experience have been a help to a young, inexperienced head coach and a young, inexperienced offensive coordinator?
Would they have had a win or two by now? I'd say yes. Would they look different to a point where you're saying that, oh, this is a team that can make the playoffs, and the stuff that was some Jet fans were whispering before the season started? I don't know if I still don't know, because look, the injury to Jermaine Johnson to start the season, that was devastating. He's such a big part of what they do defensively. Like losing, Quincy Williams, that has hurt them. The Brandon Stevens signing was an abomination. It was terrible. He can't guard anybody. So defensively, they still weren't going to be as good as you thought they'd be. But again, the offense has been the problem. And as you pointed out, there was 3 games that they lost to by single digits. That can you get 2 of them, and now you're what? What are you? Is it any different at 2-4?
Right.
Is it any different? Yeah, I don't know.
But I just wondered if maybe he wouldn't have been a help. I don't know, but I'm not talking from the aspect of maybe you win a few games, sneak into the. No, I'm just saying that. Maybe what happened at the end of the second quarter doesn't happen if Rodgers is the quarterback.
Oh, it definitely doesn't happen.
Not because Rodgers is better, but Rodgers might have said to him, hey, coach, do
I
this.
got this. Yeah.
And I can learn from that. Now, I wanted to bring this up. I just got a text message from Jake Asman. He was not listening, but he was told by another person that
oh boy, what
I said, and he says he never said that. So I want to get that straightened out. I had thought I heard him say that he thought that this team could win 6-7 games. Now, if he didn't say that, then I apologize. Maybe it was somebody else that said it. There were people that said it. I thought Jake said it.
Oh, there was
so why don't we get Jake
people.
on? Let him defend himself, because I don't want to call people out for things that they actually didn't do.
But there were definitely people, because remember you and I would talk about this offline, and I would tell you, I can't believe there's this talk about the Jets making the playoffs. I can't believe there's this talk about the Jets. Oh, I could think they can win 7-9 games. What are you talking about?
And listen, if I got it wrong, but do you mind if we have Jake on?
I actually wanted to have him on earlier when I watched a video of his and just saw him sort of in pain.
Well,
I think he's as good a person to talk to because he's obsessed with this team to almost scary levels, like an Ira. But he also has a really sort of a professional opinion and take. So I'd love to hear from Jake.
No, he's really amazing at what he does, and I want to get this straightened out. So we have the opportunity. So Jake will join us hopefully next, unless he's got a date or something. So I expect him to be on in the next segment. Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg with you until 7 here on ESPN New York.
Hey, guys, I want to tell you about Thrive, because every aspect of your business, from the most mundane to the most complex, will operate orders of magnitude better and faster when you add artificial intelligence. AI is literally a race to the top for the companies that engage AI first. They're going to win. Will that be you, or will it be your competitors? Ask yourself. Thrive Managed AI is your advantage over all your competitors. It's founded by tech powerhouses. Thrive partners with you on smart and secure AI strategy for your business. Then they deploy and manage it for you. Imagine AI solutions working across every part of your business, automating support, powering chatbots, analyzing competitors, even managing billing, collections, and orders. Now, that's just a taste of what Thrive Managed AI can help you achieve. It makes your talented team even better by letting them focus on what they do best. The race to the top will be won by those who engage Thrive Managed AI first. That needs to be you. Go to thrivenextgen.com/ESPN and get started with a complimentary strategy consultation. That's thrivenextgen.com/ESPN. thrivenextgen.com/ESPN.
You know so much about who you are. But do you know what makes your body your body? With over 100 lab tests and insights, Function can help you know the truth. Because you know you're made of grit, wit, and a good heart. But just how healthy is that heart? You know you're made up of all the places you've called home. You know you're made of your mom's sarcasm. And now you can find out if you have her thyroid, too. You know you're made of college all-nighters and 30s early-nighters, but those still don't explain your sleep issues. You know that you're made up of good meals with even better conversation. But are you actually absorbing those nutrients? A Function membership gives you a comprehensive health check with results tracked over time. Find out what you're made of at functionhealth.com.
A dime dropped right down the chimney by Justin Fields to Garrett Wilson, and the Jets have the lead. Be at MetLife Stadium for the Jets and the Panthers on Sunday, October 19th at 1 p.m., presented by JetBlue. Get to the game early and secure the game giveaway, a JetBlue Jets plane magnet while supplies last. Lock in your seats now at nyjets.com/tickets. Once again, that's nyjets.com/tickets.
Hey, it's Alan Hahn. Let me tell you about my friends at Bath Fitter. They remodeled the bath by my pool. They converted a tub into a shower. The result is amazing. Bath Fitter offers all types of custom bath renovations, including their unique PermaFit solution for a watertight fit. It's done in one day, easy to clean, and durable with no demo or mess, and it costs less than a standard replacement. Plus, a lifetime guarantee. Right now, you get no money down, no payments, or interest until 2027. So start designing your bath today at bathfitter.com. There's only one Bath Fitter.
Just printed from the Erie Canal Press, the most coveted ticket, New York Lottery's $1 million raffle, hath arrived. 15 fortunate souls shall come into the fortune of a millionaire.
Translation, the $1 million raffle is here, and 15 winners are going to become millionaires. The New York Lottery commemorates 200 years of the Erie Canal with your best odds of winning $1 million. Limited tickets available. Ask your local retailer today. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks, guys. A new problem spot in Brooklyn. Outbound Gowanus heading over to the Verrazano. A broken down tractor trailer by Fort Hamilton Parkway. You're crawling there from the Belt Split. Still have this crash on the Belt westbound by Knapp Street. Jam there from Rockaway Parkway. After that, not too bad heading over to the Verrazano. Getting into Staten Island at the Goethals Bridge. It's a bumper-to-bumper ride from the Jersey side. 3-day weekend for some people. All of your purchase, the outbound George in pretty good shape. Cross Bronx westbound, just a bit heavy from the Deegan. Inbound George about 10 to 15 for the upper deck. Outbound Lincoln and Hull and Sunnels about 10 to 15 minutes each. This report is sponsored by the Positive Coaching Alliance. Questions about youth or high school sports? Well, the PCA can help. It's a national nonprofit developing better athletes and better people through youth and high school sports. More info at positivecoach.org. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
This is the kind of professional that Jake Assman is. He is going to get the Comrex hooked up so we get to hear him nice and clear. No phone line, none of that garbage. So, but that takes a bit. So he's going to do that coming up next.
He's running the Comrex on, does he have to get some sticks together and create a fire?
Well, no, you probably just have to go wherever the Comrex is. Right?
Dial up.
Is it when he goes to the tower? He goes to he has to go to the cable tower.
I don't know. I have very little knowledge of Jake's background other than I think he's a fabulous talk show. Mm-hmm. but I don't know where he lives in the sense of it's a mansion. Maybe he's got to go to the 13th floor in order to connect with the Comrex.
The jet sponsored mansion.
Yeah, because he's a go-getter, man.
Sure, he's a hustler. There's no question.
But
should hustle his way to a new football
one
team
of his
so he
friends,
can enjoy his life.
He was not listening, so one of his friends
ratted you out.
Ratted me out. I want to know what this guy said because he sounds like a punk to me. I don't know, but his friend sounds like a bit of a troublemaker.
Stirring it up.
And we're going to find out as soon as Jake gets connected. Because what I said was I thought I heard him say he thought this could be a 6-7 win team. But even if he didn't say that, there were people that did say that. We took the phone calls, guys, if you remember.
Somebody did.
And I'm just saying, guys, maybe, but let's stop. Because I think the one thing that we either got wrong or it just never happened was how talented this team was. I think we got that wrong, guys. I don't think there's the talent here that people assume there is. Sauce Gardner is good, but is he Darrelle Revis? Garrett Wilson, I think, is fantastic, but one wide receiver can't do it alone. And Jake Assman has connected with the Comrex, and he's joining us here on Don Hahn and Rosenberg.
Gentlemen, I'm on the YouTube as well. It's great to see you guys.
You are amazing. Now, I want to know what your friend said to you.
I heard, and I quote, Don, I can't even read the full text because it's not radio appropriate.
What?
Don is ripping you on the air for saying you want Aaron Glenn fired.
See, this is I was right, guys. His friend's a punk.
Yeah,
that's a bad friend you got.
Because you're in that text, your friend didn't say that I thought you were an amazing talk show host. Did he mention that?
That did not come up, but I do appreciate the kind words, Don.
And guys, would you say in me bringing up Jake? Be honest, because maybe I don't know my own tone. Would you describe what I said about Jake as ripping him?
No.
All right. So I would disassociate myself with this individual if I were you, but whatever. I'm going to tell you what I said.
No, actually, Don, you know what you should say? If you want to continue working at this station, this can no longer be your friend. You got that kind of power. No. Swing it, Don.
Let me get this out before a nationwide arena all of a sudden decides to do the lineup again, and you don't.
He's
hear
a friend
me.
of Jace, if we're being fair. So it'd be
thank you, Jake.
Yeah,
that's important information.
There you go.
Tell him he's out.
What I said, and I might have been wrong, Jake, that I thought I heard you say, because I do listen to the station, and I think you're great, that you thought this team could win 6-7 games this year.
I had them winning 6 games this year.
Okay.
Yes, their Vegas win total, by the way, was 6.5. So I don't think I was that far off with those expectations.
but my allegation, and the reason I brought you up, because A, it's great promotion, and it's attaching a name to that. There were a lot of people that were positive about the Jets going into the season. Hey, maybe this team can win 7 games. Maybe this team can win 8 games. Maybe this team can go into December still playing meaningful games.
But those people weren't positive, Don. The people that were positive, the people calling into my Jet YouTube show every day, these are the people who are saying 9, 10 wins, or Justin Fields is going to be unlocked like Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield were. Most Jet fans, realistically, just wanted to see improvement, wanted to see a well-coached team, wanted to see players develop and get better, wanted to see a team that wouldn't beat itself because their head coach doesn't know how to manage the 2-minute drill. So the bar was very low, and they're the only team in the NFL without a win right now.
We'll get to that in a second. But what the reason I brought you up, because I do feel that a lot of the fans that are destroying the Jets, maybe not you, because they're not living up to what I thought were fantasy expectations about the team. Because I didn't have expectations, because being around this team as long as I don't have blood in the ground like you as far as being a fan, but doing the pre and post for 16 years, they usually hype up a new coach. There's a lot of hype around the team. When they got rid of Aaron Rodgers, it was, listen, we're not going to be very good. We don't want to have another alpha dog in the locker room, and it's going to be a slow burn here. And you should be very disappointed in the way he's coached. He has not coached well. But I think this is very early in the process. He's inexperienced, and I think this was maybe not the plan, Jake, but I think they kind of felt like this was going to come, and I think they're going to be extraordinarily patient with him. They gave him a 5-year contract. From what I understand, they're paying him more than they paid the average first-time head coach. I think this is part of a slow burn, and that fans should not be as red-hot about it, because I do think it comes from a place of inexperience, not incompetence.
Here's what I would say, Don. All your points are valid. If Aaron Glenn himself did not completely alter what we thought the expectations were going to be for this team, he immediately came in, pumped his chest, talked over and over again about how this team's going to be different. They're not going to beat themselves. He highlighted the fact that they led the NFL in penalties the last 2 years, and until yesterday, the previous 2 games where the Jets looked awful after, oh, by the way, he said at 0-3, they're not the same old Jets. They had 23 penalties against Miami and Dallas combined, 2 mediocre teams at best, to be kind to what the Dolphins are, oh, by the way. And then I don't want to listen to Aaron Glenn, where his first big thing is to just jettison Aaron Rodgers and act like he doesn't need him, give $40 million to Justin Fields, say he's our guy, and then talk about all the different things throughout the course of the offseason and the summer that he was going to be able to implement, and just completely miss the mark with his messaging all the way. He thought this team was going to be decent. He thought this team with coaching was going to have a chance to be pretty good. That's why they kept a lot of the same players. They chose to bring back Jamie and Sherwood. They chose to keep guys like Michael Clemens and Isaiah Oliver. He didn't bring in a bunch of his guys from the Lions. The only guy that has any experience with Aaron Glenn is Josh Reynolds, who wasn't on his side of the ball and didn't even play for the Lions last year. So, he thought this team was going to be better than what I think you're presenting it as, and I had pretty low expectations. I thought they were going to be around their win total, but we'd have proof of this team being well coached, and I think he looks like he's in over his head. I mean, that game
he
yesterday
might be.
was not just any type of loss, Don.
Well,
That was
Jake,
as bad as it
he
gets.
might be in over his head. But the idea of not bringing in Tyrod Taylor tells me that it's kind of – I'm not saying they're tanking. I don't think winning is necessarily the priority. When you let Aaron Rodgers walk out the door for Justin Fields, you couldn't tell me you improved that team. He could say whatever he wants to say. The plan was not to improve by letting Aaron Rodgers go and bring in Justin Fields.
He thought they were going to be able to get more out of the quarterback spot because they were going to have this offense that would feature Fields as a runner, and we're going to bring Tanner Engstrand over from Detroit, and we're going to have this ground and pound ball control offense. And he's pushing back at reporters being like,
right, and
well,
it
Aaron,
worked in week 1, and now everybody's adjusted to it.
But that's my point, right? They've been progressively worse since week 1, and I think the Jet fan just wanted to see a team, right, to quote him, that we were proud to support. I can't say I've been proud to support anything I've seen. In his second ever game against a division opponent at home, they got their doors blown off against the Bills. Didn't look like they belonged. As bad as Miami is, they almost went into Buffalo on a Thursday night and won. New England with Vrabel in his first year went into Buffalo and won. You look at Ben Johnson. He has the Bears seemingly heading in the right direction. Liam Cohen with the Jaguars, another first-year coach, has them headed in the right direction.
Yeah, but
those
it's 1
teams
year.
were all worse than the Jets a year ago, Don.
I get it. And listen, I'm talking to a fan that has been involved in this forever, and you've been told to be patient, and you've seen failure after failure after failure. But I could tell you Ben McAdoo won 11 games his first year. How'd that go? Right? You saw how it failed in Detroit. You saw how Bill Parcells won just 3 games with the Giants in his first year. And I look back at that 83 year. They were in a lot of games. They had a really good defense, but they got nothing out of their offense. And they almost fired Bill in his first year, and they go to the playoffs the next year. I'm not telling you to not feel the way you're feeling. You should feel that way. I'm just telling you you've got to find a way to be patient because it doesn't mean he's a bad coach.
Let me jump in.
It's early. We're only 6 games in.
I'm not saying fire him, though, to be clear. I want to make it clear. I'm just
I
saying,
never said you said that.
Right,
Okay.
Here's my opinion on Glenn, right? I think through 6 games, he's been about as bad as any Jet head coach I have ever watched in my lifetime. Thank God I didn't live through the coat tie years, right? That said, the best thing I could say about Aaron Glenn, Don, is that he still has 11 games to go in his first year to show some real improvement. But if this team is sitting there with the number 1 overall pick, I'm sorry, I don't care how much money Woody paid him or how many years are left on his contract. We saw Robert Kraft make a tough decision and have to one-and-done Gerard Mayo for the betterment of his organization, and it landed in Mike Vrabel. If the Jets are sitting there with the number 1 pick, I just don't think Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji have earned the right to draft and probably ruin another quarterback that you're going to take that high. That's my big thing. I just want to see some improvement before we just say Aaron Glenn's getting year 2 no matter what, because it's been that bad through these first 6 weeks.
Well, your first mistake is to think that Woody Johnson is going to do something competent like that and bring in somebody that actually has experience. So we all know that's not going to happen, right? And eat money, that's not going to happen either. He's not going to do that, especially the amount of that's on that contract. But I like, for me, Jake, the patience thing I get, because you can't tell a Jets fan to be patient. They've been waiting for
They've been patient
years. The patience has always been there. But what I also think, though, that we do too much sometimes, especially with somebody like, if you know Aaron Glenn's story and you know how he's worked his way up and where he's come from, coming just deciding I want to coach, I want to be involved, and starting at the bottom instead of using his name and his clout to move a little higher up. He was a scout. He grinded his way up. you understand that he went from a guy that with a lot of bravado walking into this job, that he has suddenly lost all that bravado, and now he's just kind of talking plainly to people. You could see it. The coach speak stuff at the podium's gone, and I'm glad it is. But I also think that there are times that we will give everybody else a chance to learn, and especially young quarterbacks, but we won't give a first-year coach a chance to learn from his mistakes. He's made mistakes. There's no doubt about that. But you could see it in his face that he's like, damn, I did not expect that. Damn, I did not expect that. Like, you could see that he's already processing his own mistakes and realizing this didn't go the way I thought it did. That he realized that I probably should have put more work on film on this team, because otherwise I would have never kept Michael Clemens. Like, I would have never kept – there's certain players that you just know this is who they are. But you also know you can't turn over a roster that quickly. It does take another year or so. So all I'm saying is, if we're going to let a coach develop, let it be a guy that actually was a Jet, that went through a 1-6, a 1-15, and survived to tell the story of the good life with Bill Parcells. Like, at least if you're going to give someone a chance, let him just get a chance to go through it, learn from mistakes, and get better.
Jake, I'm with you, though, that it's a nice thing to say what Alan just said. But if, like you pointed out, there's 11 games left. If over that 11 you're not able to show anything head in the right direction on that chart, I'm with you. I think it's very hard to then say, let's run it back again, regardless of his history elsewhere.
Peter, I was in Houston doing afternoon radio when the Texans went through 3 coaches in 3 years, right? David Culley, Lovie Smith, they landed on DeMeco Ryans. Also, by the way, a franchise legend, and I hope Darren Glenn would have a similar path to what DeMeco has done these last 2 years. We watched the Niners go through 3 coaches in 3 years before they landed on Kyle Shanahan. I understand it's not a good look to one and done any coach, and I hope to God it doesn't get to that point. But, Alan, you have to admit, through 6 games, he has been every bit as bad as Obrick, who was, to me, there was no one worse than him.
Obrick's the worst coach I've ever seen.
And that's how bad this has been. Yesterday was a debacle.
I'm not denying it.
It has to get better before I just say he gets year 2 because he was
right
a great
about
Jet 30 years ago.
You're right about that. But it's he's not acting alone here. Again, the quarterback sucks.
But that was his choice.
I know
he
it was.
Wanted it.
That's his first mistake. His first mistake was saying we could take Justin Fields and turn him into something. And then
his first mistake was saying I probably won't see Aaron Rodgers either.
Well, but I'm saying like not understanding that the guy can't throw. Like, his throws are bad. So every opposing defense by now in 5 years, they know, they want to run the ball with that guy, so we're going to take that away because we're going to want him to throw. You want Justin Fields to throw. That's what you've learned. So it's all this stuff that he's starting to realize that, no, that was a mistake. But again, like he's not acting alone here.
No.
Him not calling a play late in the first half yesterday, that was him letting you know, I have no confidence in my quarterback nor this offense.
They make a change at quarterback because
I
you or I could
coming.
have completed wide open passes to Garrett Wilson on the last
I
drive
thought that was
to
coming.
get in field goal range. Like,
I thought.
Alan, the bar is low. I'm really not trying to be the fire the coach guy, hot take radio. If you guys listen to me, you know I've never been that way. I am just disgusted rooting for this team and seeing what I've seen. And Glenn promised to change all of this. And whether he could or not, the messaging from him, it's on him and the Jets PR staff.
No, there's no question. And everything
it's
that
been
you're
set
saying,
up to fail with what he said.
Everything that
that's
you
true.
said.
Too loud at the beginning.
Well, no, absolutely. And I said it at the time. I thought, the abuse of the media, because I really do believe, Jake, and you may know better than me, that I felt like whoever was going to be the head coach of this team was going to have to get on board that Rodgers was not coming back.
Agreed.
I think that was Woody saying we're not bringing him back. And then because of the whole new sheriff in town mentality with Glenn was, I'm going to take ownership of all these decisions. That I'm the one that wanted Rodgers gone. I'm the one that wanted Justin Fields here. For all we know, Justin Fields was just to make Garrett Wilson happy and trying to give him a new contract. I think that's probably the downfall, too, of trying to take ownership of this, being how much too vibrato. If I admit anything, I believe he probably thought this job was going to be way easier than it's been.
That's right.
And probably did not realize how much damage had been done by the previous regime and how much work he was going to have to do. But I think fundamentally we agree, Jake. I said it earlier in the show. It's got to look better. It may not look better wins and losses wise, but if you see the mistake in the second quarter yesterday happen in week 16, week 17, then I'm totally on board because that means you're not improving. You're not getting better. But let's see how the next few weeks go. Cut down on the penalties, right? They finally got their first turnover. I know it's not a lot, but it's a step in the right direction. and we'll see. All right, promote yourself. When's the next time you're going to be on?
I'm on every Sunday. It's me and Mike Tannenbaum. And by the way, you want to talk about awkward radio. So Mike T obviously assisted in Woody hiring Aaron Glenn, and I'm killing Glenn on the radio yesterday. How is he not going to Tyrod? Because we're on the air doing the show as the Jets are playing a game in London at 9:30 in the morning. We're on 8 to noon every week together, Mike and I. So that was awkward, but we got through that.
I love it. I love that.
But, yeah, so that's what you guys can all hear me. It's called New York Game Day, Mike T and myself, 8A to 12P every Sunday.
How hard is that?
By the way, delete that friend out of your contacts right now. Just delete him.
Done.
I had to go through this a lot, through my career of having a big game going on while I'm doing a show. Like, how did you handle doing a show and your team's on?
It's so stressful. You feel like you don't get to really watch every play the way you would if you weren't trying to multitask on the air, and you got to think about everything you're saying because it's a public position that you're in, right? I felt like I was missing things, and the problem was, too, Mike was doing the show out of Bristol, and he was ahead of where I was doing the show from home. So I'm in the middle of talking. He's, like, spoiling what's coming, and if it was a good or bad play, I'm now, like, forgetting what I'm supposed to be saying, and I'm looking at the screen, and we got 30 seconds to go to whatever play that he's going ooh and ah about on the radio. So it was not fun yesterday, Don. It would have been fun and all worth it.
But you hear the difference, Don, is that unlike Dave Rothenberg, Jake, who is just as obsessed with the Jets, he's a professional. He was able to do the job. He didn't have to say no.
He didn't. He didn't call in sick because the Jets were playing in London.
He went and did the job he had to do.
I
He didn't
will
pour
say
gasoline
this,
on the microphone and then light it on fire in the middle of the show.
I mean this in the best way possible, Jake. You're a bit much, but I love you, and I think you're doing an amazing job. And I'm glad that this little awkward moment got us on the air together. And I'm looking forward to doing it again, man.
Don, I love you. I love you, Alan, and Peter as well. I've been listening to all you guys for, as long as you've all been on the station. I mean, besides maybe Don. I started listening to Don in 2006 on the old K Show. So an honor to join you. Anytime you need someone to commiserate about the Jets, I'm here doing it. So whatever you guys need.
Thanks, Jake.
Thanks a lot, Jake. And that was kind of a rite of passage at the Super Bowl. You'd have to pop on his show in Houston, and Michael and I would always do it, and Peter did it later on. He's a great talent. It was fun to get him on. 1-800-919-3776. Bunch of phone calls. ENN coming up at 6. It's Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg till 7 here on ESPN New York.
This is the Michael K. Show.
Steve Young, love talking with him. 9 sacks. Was it on Fields? Was it on the offensive line? What was happening there?
That was historically horrific. Justin Fields is a talented player, and he's trying to figure out how to do the thing that's very hard, which is I am a dynamic athlete that can make plays, but I need to learn the sophisticated passing game so I can truly be great in the NFL.
The Michael K. Show. Weekdays at 1 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
This fall, don't sit on the sideline because of pain. If you're tired of waking up stiff, fighting neck, back, or joint pain, and missing out on the things you love, it's time to take action. Call Dr. J. Shaw at Sandwell Pain, New Jersey's top pain specialist. Dr. Shaw is an Ivy League trained, double board certified, and laser focused on one thing: getting you back in the game. Living pain-free, no surgery, no cuts, no downtime. Just precise image-guided treatments that deliver real results. Whether it's sciatica, nerve pain, migraine, or chronic joint pain, Dr. Shaw will personalize a non-surgical game plan just for you without pain medication. Same-day and next-day appointments are available with offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood. Most major insurances are accepted, so what are you waiting for? Don't let pain keep you out of the action this season. Visit Sandwell Pain to text, call, or book online. You'll wish you met Dr. J. Shaw a lot sooner. Relief starts today, and victory over pain is closer than you think.
Don't take slow for an answer. Not so easy when you're stuck in traffic. But mere inches from someone else's bumper, you can dream of faster things. Like Optimum Fiber, the fastest and most reliable fiber internet, starting at $40 a month. So while you can't always switch lanes for a faster route, you can switch providers for a faster connection. Optimum. Don't take slow for an answer. Call 888-4OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com/fiber today. Terms apply. See Optimum.com for details.
Listen up, football fans. Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
D'Agostino & Associates is a legacy firm, and I'm proud to be a part of that legacy. I'm Jenna D'Agostino, and like my father, I fight to get justice for the injured.
The hustle and grit of these streets shaped me. I'm John D'Agostino, and from the concrete to the courtroom, I built this injury firm 35 years ago to get accident victims justice. So call my team first, 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222.
You want justice? Think Jenna D'Agostino. Think D'Agostino and Associates. Justice isn't just a word. For us, it's a way of life. It's having compassion for your struggle and getting you paid for your pain. Now that's justice. D'Agostino and Associates means being there for the injured.
Seriously injured? Call my team first at 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222. D'Agostino and Associates has offices throughout New York and New Jersey and will come to you. I've been there, and I'll be there for you.
D'Agostino Law Bite Back.
The Association on Aging in New York is celebrating the 60th anniversary of the Older Americans Act, which funds vital programs for millions of older adults. Services include meals, transportation, home care, Medicare counseling, case management, and caregiver support. Today, people are uncertain whether some programs remain available. We can help. To learn more about these essential programs and how to keep them, visit our website at agingny.org. Sponsored by the Association on Aging in New York.
From the regular season to the Super Bowl, ESPN New York is your destination for football. We've got crazy fans.
If the Giants somehow beat the Cowboys, I'm going to take a dump on your head.
You can feel good because you're a damn football team.
Expert analysis.
Marcus Spears joins us now. ESPN NFL analyst Damian Woody.
Mel Kiper Jr.
The Hall of Famer Steve Young.
He's kind of our resident general manager, Louis Riddick.
We got Mike Tannenbaum right now.
And all your fantasy and wagering needs. This is ESPN New York. We are football.
So there's other things besides football with the Jets. You got the Giants. They played Thursday. A local hockey team's underway. Alan, not good for the Islanders. 0-3 start.
Not good.
Shavers look good, but, you know, in what's going to be a very, very competitive division, all these points count, man, and you're not getting any of the first three games is really tough, although that's a good Winnipeg Jet team.
It is, but like Don, it's just watching. They had a good start to the game, but they just have the same thing. It just becomes the same thing year after year, and that's the part that's frustrating. The only thing worth watching right now is the kid Schaefer. He's just really, really he's exciting to watch, and that's all I got going for me right now. There.
Yeah. Devils 1-1. They had a big win against Tampa. We'll see what they do against an upstart Columbus team that a lot of people are high on. And the Rangers are 2-2, and it's odd. They haven't scored a goal at home. They're 0-2 at home. Got shut out in both games, although they played fabulous last night. I got a chance to watch it because it was on the NHL Network, and I thought they played great. But Quick was terrific, but unfortunately for them, Charlie Lindgren was better, and they lost 1-0. But
they were talking like moral victory. Like if we play like that more times than not, we're going to win that game. And they thought they found their game, and even though you lost 1-0.
Well, I mean, Sheldon Keefe, the Devils head coach, was saying it today. Like, there's going to be, and Dean Everson said it as well, the head coach of the Blue Jackets, because it's early. There's going to be games where you outplay the opponent and lose, and there's going to be times you don't deserve to win and you win. But, you know, the Rangers felt like they can build off of something like that, and they've got Connor McDavid coming in tomorrow to the Garden. We'll see if they
must see TV
can feed off of that. Now, you got the Knicks tonight.
Yep.
Knicks Pistons at Madison Square Garden.
Wizards.
Get close. Wizards, I'm sorry.
Yep.
Same thing, Don.
Well, I was going to say
the Pistons could actually be good.
Yeah,
no, I know,
but very good.
But so, how many more preseason games left, and what can we expect tonight?
Well, it's 2. I don't think nothing's official, but like this is that. So they played 3. Then you have this one. You know, the one Friday night is going to be like the dress rehearsal for the season. So I do feel like tonight might be more of a, the bench depth kind of thing, and like letting some other guys play because. You know, he's played the starters in the first half of the first 2 games. He took them into the third quarter in the game last Thursday. I just feel like if there's going to be one where he even said, you know, he's going to make some decisions on what he wants to do with players in this game. So this might be one of those guys who have an opportunity to make the roster. This is your night to watch.
And in the baseball, guys, that's a bad loss for the Blue Jays. You know, when I was watching the game on Thursday, I guess it was whatever. No, I'm sorry. The game on Friday night when the Mariners won in 15 innings. Like, throughout the game, all they were saying is, right now the Blue Jays are salivating back home. They're going to get a fifth starter. They're going to get a team that's worn out, bullpen's worn out, and they got shut down outside of the Springer home run. That's a tough loss to start the series. They're not done. It's a best of 7 now, but, Alan, that's a tough loss when you've got all those advantages in game 1 and you got to lead and you lose. That's a huge win for Seattle. Huge.
It's a massive win, but it also shows you again, if you're a Yankees fan, the Blue Jays had your pitchers, starting pitchers, they had their number. They knew exactly what they wanted to do. They were prepared for that series. Things completely changed when it comes to Seattle because that offense that looked unstoppable against the Yankees was completely shut down, right?
Yep.
Like, it's as simple. Klappich had a great interview with Don Mattingly, who's obviously the bench coach in Toronto. The stuff he said about the Yankees and how they matched up well with all the starters and how they had success throughout the regular season against the Yankee starters, and that success gave them that confidence going into that series. It was so telling. But there's a couple of quotes here that, if we have a minute, can I share them?
Sure.
That really stood out to me from Mattingly to Klappich, and one of them was the Yankees. This is Mattingly talking. The Yankees are built for home runs, but what comes with that? A lot of swing and miss. So Mattingly pointed that part out. And then he also talked about the thing everybody wants to do is play good defense, catch the ball, get good pitching, prevent runs. So it depends on how you're built. Everyone wants the same things. It's just the Yankees have always been built on power.
Yeah. And this on the heels of Joe Torre's comments about the team, which don't surprise me because, remember, Joe wasn't all in on the analytics.
I'd be careful about what you saw on Joe Torre on social media because I think there was a meme put out there.
Oh, really?
That is 100% not real.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, that got around. Somebody made that up, and there's no credit at the bottom. And then the more you look into it, Joe Torre would never.
Well, I'm glad
remember,
you brought
Joe
that
Torre
up.
works for the league. There's no way he would say something
like
that.
Yeah, it seemed odd, but
yeah.
Listen,
but everybody got
I
excited
got
because they wanted it.
I'm on the road. I see that, but that's a bad job out of me. I'm glad you were able to catch that.
He was stopped. Don, you were stopped.
We wanted it to be true.
No, I didn't care either way. I just saw a quote and I got sports pickled. You know what?
You know
what I'm
going to
do?
Pickled.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm leaving at 6:30.
You know what?
I deserve to be on the last 30 minutes
I'm out
of the
too,
show.
Peter, you take it home.
Wait, you both are so disgusted with yourself.
So disgusted.
I'm disgusted
I can
with
only
myself.
handle ENN, and that's it. I can't.
Alan's
handle
disgusted with me. We're both out. 6:30 done. But the exciting thing, Peter, is that you've got ENN coming up next.
Oh yeah.
I'm not. I would have left now, but I'm not missing ENN.
No, you bet your ace. You know, there's no ENN like an after you go literally around the world. ENN.
That's right. Looking forward to that coming up next. Hahn and Rosenberg on ESPN New York.
Score a win this game day with Amazon Pickup, the MVP of package pickup. Need that new football jersey for the big matchup? With Amazon Pickup, you can collect your order from secure Amazon lockers or counters near you on your schedule. Whether you're running from work or home or straight to the tailgate, Amazon Pickup makes it easy and worry-free at no extra cost. Don't miss kickoff. Grab your gear and your packages when it works for you. Find your nearest Amazon Pickup location at amazon.com/pickupmvp. That's amazon.com/pickupmvp.
And now it's time for traffic. Here's Brandy Scott.
Thanks a million, guys. I hope you have a great rest of the night. Can't catch a break on the Belt westbound in Brooklyn. A new crash over by Rockaway Parkway. Bumper-to-bumper ride there from Erskine Street. After that, doing better westbound, heading over to Knapp. Cleaned up that accident there. Still crawling on the outbound Gowanus, heading over to the Verrazano. Broken down tractor-trailer by Fort Hamilton Parkway. Traffic is getting by on the shoulder. Pretty much at a standstill there from 39th. Knicks are home tonight at MSG. Preseason basketball against the Wizards. Looking pretty good if you're going to drive into Midtown on both the east and west sides of town. Heading over to the outbound George, Cross Bronx westbound, really not too bad. Just about a 5-minute ride from the Deegan through to underneath the apartments. Inbound George, about 10 to 15 for the upper deck. Outbound Lincoln and Holland Tunnels, about 5 to 10 minutes each. Over in Jersey, heavy on the Turnpike Western Spur northbound, heading over to 15E. Just picked up a collision by 1 and 9 in Newark. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
To help those who want to be helped, but may not be able to afford it.
That's what PGA Tour winner Grayson Murray had envisioned for a foundation before he sadly took his own life at just 30 years old. His parents channeled their grief into creating the Grayson Murray Foundation, carrying out his vision to help those struggling with mental health and addiction. To donate and learn more, Visit GraysonMurrayFoundation.com.
In the city that never sleeps and never stops talking sports, ESPN New York is always on. Now you can live and breathe everything New York sports wherever you are. On your radio dial, on the ESPN New York app, and streaming live on YouTube. However you watch or listen, ESPN New York is always on for you. Hear us, stream us, watch us. This is ESPN New York.
Make cancer screening a part of your annual healthcare routine. New York Presbyterian offers a full range of cancer screenings, including lung, cervical, prostate, colorectal, breast, and more. Regular cancer screenings could save your life by detecting cancer at its earliest, most treatable stages. Screenings are available across New York City and Westchester. Learn more at nyp.org/cancer screening. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian.
Dave Rosenberg here to tell you about my friends at Bathfitter. Now, they converted my kids' bathtub to a shower and did an incredible, really an unbelievable job. They offer all types of custom bath renovations, including their unique PermaFit solution for a watertight fit done in just one day. Durable and easy to clean with no demo or mess and lower cost than a standard replacement. And a lifetime guarantee. Right now, no money down, no payments, no interest until 2027. So start designing your bath today like we did at bathfitter.com. There's only one Bathfitter.
Every aspect of your business will operate better and faster with artificial intelligence. AI is a race, and companies that act first will win. Thrive Managed AI is your advantage over all your competitors. Thrive partners with you on a smart, secure AI strategy for your business. Then they deploy and manage it for you. Be first and win the race with Thrive Managed AI. Start with a complimentary strategy consultation at thrivenextgen.com/ESPN. That's thrivenextgen.com/ESPN.
Hey, this is Mika Zibanejad.
Hey, this is Adam Fox. Catch every Rangers game right here on 880 ESPN.
WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. This is an ENN Special Report. Now reporting...
The very handsome Jewish man, Peter Rosenberg.
We should talk some sports. Do what you want. It's ENN.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to ENN.
You ever watch YouTube?
Ray Rowe. I'd like to start off by saying good evening to Alan.
Like, I thought Zach Wilson was hard to watch. Justin Wilson's really hard to watch.
Oh, well.
Can you imagine if a Jets quarterback where they combine Justin Fields and Zach Wilson? Can you?
Like, I thought Zach Wilson was hard to watch. Justin Wilson's really hard to watch.
Can you imagine, John, how hard that would be to watch?
That would be like watching that vibrating football game.
By the way, the Jets football, the Jets playbook at the end of the first half and the end of the game is basically they go, what should we do? And Glenn just pulls out the old vibrating football game and sits it down and goes, we'll follow whatever they do. And it just buzzes and people walk whatever direction they feel like. Don, that's why the clock ran out at the end of the first half.
When I was a kid, because I'm a little older than you, I needed that game.
Oh, it was powerful.
And once I got it, I didn't know what the hell to do with it.
It's the worst. Alan, you had it? It's okay. Anthony, you even know what we're talking about?
I have some semblance of an idea, yes.
The vibrating game?
And you could pass with it. So you'd flick it with the quarterback, and all you had to do was hit the receiver, and they would count it as
I don't even think I was able to do it.
No, but forget it. You couldn't do it. All of a sudden, you're going for a touchdown, and then it would just turn and start going the other way.
It was literally, I don't know how they tricked the world at that time. Poor kids in the pre-video games days, they could get, I mean, think about it. Don, the game operation was like a marvel.
Yeah, it could buzz.
By the way, you know what operation is? I think the football game, the buzzing football game, was them taking leftover operations they didn't sell and just making it the electronic football game.
Football's getting pretty popular here. What are we going to do?
Well,
let's capitalize.
Let's take that buzzing board we use for the operation game and just throw a bunch of crap on it. Perfect. All right, let me say good evening to Don and Alan.
I'm watching him play, and I'm like, the guy's going to be 41.
Flicking it.
I've heard flinging.
I never heard flicking it. It's different. Let's say good evening to Alan and Don. I missed this.
The Millennium Falcon.
Millennium Falcon. This piece of garbage, right?
And to Don.
These stormtroopers, they're all analytic regular season guys.
And to Don.
Luke Skywalker was a postseason player. He was a dog.
Yeah, we had a whole moment where we broke baseball analytics into the Star Wars movies. So think about it. Like, we rubbed two virgins together and created another virgin.
Luke Skywalker is a dog is one of the greatest lines I've ever heard in my life.
See, you miss a week, Peter.
I know. I want to find a way to talk about a film where there's like an actual dog that is a dog, like Toto from Wizard of Oz. Right. Like Toto was a dog.
Like, yeah, what dog was the greatest dog?
Yeah, I mean, Hooch
from
Turner and Hooch. No, he was a dog. I would like to see a little more fight at the end, but he was
like
a dog.
Marley and me, not enough fighting that dog.
Yeah, that's the thing. Marley wasn't a dog. He was a dog, but he wasn't a dog. That's why he's no longer with us. I wanted to see him as a dog.
That's it. Wednesday, top 5 dogs that weren't dogs.
Yeah. You want to see Rocky was a dog. Now Rocky was a dog.
Old Yeller was a dog.
Oh yeah. Think about it. They had to get the shotgun out.
Yeah, right.
That's a
I
lot.
don't want to give too much away because I think we might do this Wednesday.
Top 5 dogs that weren't dogs. What about top 5 dogs that were dogs?
See, what's that? That might be a better list, right?
Yeah, maybe because the other one's depressing.
All
top
right,
5 dogs that were dogs.
Top 5 dogs. Bear would be on that list, maybe.
Oh yeah, but Rocky's more of a dog than Bear for sure. Rocky, come on, you know what Rocky was walking around with. You know what I mean? Man was a dog.
No, you're right.
He was fighting through it. I mean, they told him. They said Rocky wouldn't make it to our wedding, and he made it to meet Maya. That's a dog.
Yeah, that is.
That's a dog right there.
So in honor of Rocky, we're gonna have the top 5 dogs.
I love that. I don't know if Natalie's ever heard my Rocky impression as a drop. That's when you leave him. That's the sound he makes when you try to leave him. All right, let's get to it. We talked some about the possibility of quarterbacks, of course, because the Jets may be deeply in need of one. Now, Field Yates was on Barton Carlin talking about the 2026 QB class.
I don't think it's totally dropped off. I think maybe, at least in my estimation, it's just been flipped on its head. Some of the names that we were talking about coming into the season are not part of the conversation right now, at least in the first round of the draft. I'm talking about Arch Manning. I'm talking about Drew Aller, whose college career is now over. Garrett Nussmeier from LSU, another guy we're not talking about in the same light. Lenore Sellers from South Carolina hasn't been great so far this year. We've got other players that have sort of risen to the top, and that includes Fernando Mendoza and Dante Moore Jr. from Indiana, Georgia, respectively.
This was tough.
We can't. That wasn't a knock to Field.
No,
we just can't sit here and pretend like we know who these people are. But now we're getting too deep.
And also, all you need to hear as the Jets are 0-6, possibly having the first overall pick in the draft, is that, you know what, the quarterback class may not be all that.
Was there a guy named Lenore in there?
Lenore Sellers is having a struggle of a middle of the season.
His name is Lenore?
Lenoris.
Wow, that's tough.
This whole keeping up with college football thing, that was a dream.
It didn't work.
Well, listen,
I tried.
I'm surprised he made it this long before completely being exposed. Before I forget, though, Peter, because I'm going to run out of time because I'm leaving at 6:30, as I told you, discussed it with myself.
Yeah, you should be.
So I go for lunch across the street from Nationwide Arena today, minding my own business, get something to eat before the show. And I run into a woman by the name of Reese, and she's from Syracuse, and she's a big fan of the show, listens every day.
Really?
She had a friend come over, Udon LaGreca, because I guess she was a little shy, and she came over, and we talked a little bit, and here for the Blue Jackets game, and she's a big Jet fan. That's how she got turned on to the show, and she loves us. So I wanted to give her a shout-out to Reese from Syracuse.
And
before I forget.
Wow, that's really nice. You got fans in Columbus, huh?
We have fans in Columbus.
True, but you're there.
I was there. So if it were you or Alan, If you were here for WWE, would WWE ever do something in Columbus?
Yes.
Where's Columbus on the list for future WrestleManias?
Not great. The way things are going these days, I would say not particularly high. Things have been a little crazy.
Unless there's a Columbus, Saudi Arabia.
Right. No comment. I'll say this. Anthony, I just realized. So my path to Perth, I went west like Fievel at first. I went to Dallas, to Sydney, to Perth, right? So that's going completely west. And then on the way back, I went to Qatar, to JFK. I went completely around the world, literally.
Around the world.
I did the full around the world.
And I think you broke the record because isn't it around the world in 80 days? You did it much quicker than that.
Yeah, only 5. Also, I got to say something right now. I don't know if one day I'll ever be lucky enough to get used to true first class travel all the time, because I don't think I didn't sit down in a business or first class seat till I was 40 years old. Right? It was the pandemic, I think. This trip I did business class both ways. Don, when you're in a true good international business class, my flight home was 24 hours in the air.
Dear God.
I did the first flight was, or no more. The first flight was 14. No, the first flight was 11 and the second was 13. I did 24 hours in the air.
Wow.
11 and 13 on Qatar Airways. When you're in a business class like that, Don, with unlimited food, whatever you want, they had high-powered internet, a lay-flat seat. Don, I could have done it for 3 days. I didn't care.
You didn't care.
It's an unbelievable, and I'm looking around, and I'm seeing these either rich people. My guess is that most people in business, frankly, have it paid for by businesses.
Yeah.
And I'm looking around, though, at these people who are used to it. I'm like, do you ever get used to this? This isn't life. Don, I had caviar last night. I sat around sipping champagne, eating caviar. I was streaming, so I'm watching the show. I watched the Jason Bateman vehicle, Black Rabbit, on the way there. I started watching Monster on the way back, the new horror Ed Gaines vehicle on Netflix. I'm eating, Don, I had a beef tenderloin with garlic mashed potatoes, like a gentleman.
Yeah, you don't notice the length of flights when you're that comfy.
I FaceTimed with Natalie on one of the flights. What am I doing?
So let's say you had the flu, right? And you just laid out on your bed watching TV, messing around on the internet, whatever. You could do that in a day, no problem.
Well, by the way, though, but this is better. Because A, you're not sick, and
You're
B,
not sick.
I love Natalie. She's not preparing me 6 meals a day. I mean, whenever I ordered something.
Yeah, you're not getting tenderloin. You're getting takeout.
Yeah, exactly. and you're ordering once and calling it a day. The only hard part is, because it's all included, you're forcing yourself to eat. I'm like, I should order something again. It's probably Don. I was firing up. I want a little alcoholic beverage, but it was bedtime. A little iced decaf coffee with some Baileys. Come on.
So you were pampered. What a great trip around the world, pampered. Because I think the whole movie Around the World in 80 Days was in a hot air balloon. I don't think they were getting tenderloin there.
And not only that, but then I got to tell you, there was some criticism of the first ESPN WWE event, WrestlePalooza. Crown Jewel was fantastic. Jacob, do you watch Crown Jewel? Or do you not get to it?
No, I wasn't up early enough for it.
You can replay it on the ESPN app, in case you're wondering. But tremendous show. Every match was fantastic. The John Cena match was fantastic. Anyways, all right, moving along. So we talked about Mike McDaniel earlier and Tua's comments about the lack of leadership. Now, I played audio during the NFL Binge, which you could get in our podcast, of McDaniel responding, but McDaniel had yet to hear what Tua's comments were. Now I have audio from Mike McDaniel today on Tua's comments, having heard them.
Now that I've heard of them, you guys caught me before I heard them, so it was kind of it doesn't surprise me whatever reaction. I think regardless of intent and, what was on Tua's mind after a loss as the franchise quarterback, that's not the forum to displace that. I think he knows that now. I do honestly believe there's no ill intention, but you're talking about, I think, kind of a misguided representation of player orchestrated film sessions, and the bottom line is no one's going to be happy and always is looking for reasons for failure to succeed. So you're trying to look for reasons that you can attribute to losses, and there's a heavy as the crown of being a franchise quarterback. I think what I do know is that he's directly communicated with a lot of guys, starting with last night, and that's what teammates do, and you live and you learn. And
it's dead man walking.
Yeah, this is tough. Here's Joe Theismann.
Okay.
He was on. We love Joe. They had him on Sportsmanlike this morning, talking about the Tua pointing fingers.
There's times when you just should shut up. There's times that you just, say, look, the way the quarterback position is, you're going to get all the attention. You're going to get the fingers pointed, good or bad. You're going to get the pats on the back, or you're going to get the finger pointed. Just say, I need to play better football, which hopefully will help us be a better football team. That's all you need to say. I think it's important. Each person has to decide what their accountability is to the success of the football team. And in Tua's case, you're throwing interceptions. That was a close game, but you're throwing interceptions, and you have to do a better job protecting the football.
Not wrong.
No, it's not a great situation
but
right now.
He knows from not being able to keep his mouth shut, so he's definitely speaking from experience. He'd be the first to admit that.
Oh, yeah, Joe liked to speak.
Yes.
He had his thoughts heard. Now, as you know, Joe Flacco goes from Cleveland to Cincinnati, and this affects certainly the Pittsburgh Steelers as the team leading the AFC North. Here's Mike Tomlin of the Steelers on that trade.
To be honest, it was shocking to me. Andrew Berry must be a lot smarter than me or us, because it doesn't make sense to me to trade a quarterback that you think enough of to make your opening day starter to a division opponent that's hurting in that area. But that's just my personal feelings.
Again, not wrong.
How could you explain that, though? Is that not a weird thing? In theory, if you're Cleveland, in theory, in a year in which that division is all wacky and you have the best defense in the league, why are you doing anything to help out a divisional opponent?
Because you're not even in a place to care anymore about who's in your division. You just know you're in the bottom of it, right? So, hey, I want a draft pick. I got too many quarterbacks. Who wants them? Right?
I got too many quarterbacks, and by that I mean I have none.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's got. Well, if they say you've got more than one quarterback, you got no quarterback. What if you have more than four?
Can you? We talk about, by the way, the curse of the Jets, and with good reason.
Yes.
I think Cleveland is like a hold my beer situation. They went out and thought they finally got the quarterback, right? They made a deal with the devil. They got Deshaun Watson. And it just completely, not only has it fallen apart, Don, but it's fallen apart as they've developed this incredible defense. So they've built this incredible defense. And they got Myles Garrett signed for a gazillion dollars.
Yeah.
And now you got nothing offensively.
Well,
nothing.
And just like the Jets, in the search for the quarterback, you end up making desperate decisions. Like the Jets went for it with Aaron Rodgers because they had no choice. Deshaun Watson, that was way too much guaranteed money. It was all guaranteed. You needed a quarterback. This guy was doing special things in Houston. Other organizations don't make that decision because they've had quarterbacks. They've had winning seasons. So desperate times call for desperate measures, and you end up digging a deeper hole. Jets dug themselves a deeper hole. Cleveland's dug themselves a deeper hole. Maybe Shador is going to be the answer, and they'll forget all about it. But, Bernie Kosar and Brian Sipe, that's all you got.
And Bernie Kosar isn't walking through that door. And if he does, I'll tell you right now, he'll throw a beautiful sidearm touchdown pass. How much you want to bet Bernie Kosar could throw a football over the mountains down there? Now, guys, real quick, while we're talking football, I want to talk to you about the FanDuel Sportsbook app because it's your home for all your favorite NFL bets, from yards to touchdowns to a win. With FanDuel, any play can be the play of the game. Tonight, FanDuel is giving all customers a 30% profit boost token. That's right. You can get on the action with a 30% profit boost token on Monday Night Football. So make FanDuel your go-to app for any snap. Just visit FanDuel.com/Peter to bet on the game. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, 21 and over and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable. Profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY at 467-369. Of course, you got two games to bet, Donnie, on the football tonight. if you're not watching Devils Columbus tonight, you got the Falcons and the Buffalo Bills at 7 p.m.
Right.
That would be. Oh, I didn't get to do the announcer lineup this week. How'd it go, Anthony?
Oh, he did it. Well, not only
solid.
It was solid. It was fantastic, and he got out at 24.
Well, that's what makes him a GOAT. Is this? I would imagine this first game is the Orlovsky-Riddick vehicle. Is that right, Anthony?
Know that.
Yes, the A team has the Commanders game.
Got it.
And some new drops.
Really?
And I think
you got. Oh, did you find a new Mark Sanchez drop? So many choices.
Well, Mark Sanchez isn't doing any games.
Oh, that's right. Probably never again. Have we even talked about that?
I mean, we mentioned that it happened, but it's just so sordid and so sad,
so
awful, and so many. I mean, the only thing is just like, what a turn from thoughts and prayers on Mark Sanchez to like felony charges in like 30 minutes.
I know it was a crazy fast window of like I first saw it that Saturday and I went, oh my God. And my initial thought, Don, was, I was just in Indy the week before or 2-3 weeks before for a game for WWE. I had a Friday night out in Indy, saw some sort of sketchy parts of downtown Indy, and I thought, oh man, I guess Mark Sanchez just got caught out there. Yeah. I didn't know that. When the story that would come out, it sounds like he was terrorizing Indianapolis.
I was going to say,
it's like a horror movie.
He made the area he was in sketchy.
Right, he was the sketchy part of Indianapolis. Right. I'm always amazed because now people are coming out, and again, it's all hearsay. But now his ex and ex teammates are coming out and kind of saying this isn't a surprise.
Wow. I mean, listen, I can't say that I knew him recently, but when he got drafted and those early days with the Jets, he was coming on. He had a weekly with us. We got to know him.
Well, he seemed very together.
Well, I wouldn't call him together as far as I think that there was a lot of growing up to do. There was immaturity, but I never saw criminal activity. I never saw a bad guy.
Well, I think what they were referring to, what I've gleaned from the things that I've heard, and again, this is all hearsay, just what people are speculating on. To me, it sounds like the alcohol thing has been the thing. So, like, he is such a bad drinker that when he does, they're not surprised something insane happened. Wow. By the way, he's expecting twins right now.
And it looks like he may actually do at least a year in prison. So real quick, to predict, you think we'll ever hear him do anything in sports again? Well, you never say never with these guys, right? And it won't be anytime soon, but I guess he could right the ship and
he gets himself into serious rehab, becomes sober, years pass.
I mean,
makes
it's going to take a lot.
It would take a lot.
Listen, it's tougher. I mean, if he was still playing, like Michael Vick was able to get up from it, I think he can, but who knows, man?
But for the record, human beings are unbelievable. You have an NFL career. It doesn't go the way you want, considering what a great college player he was, right? I get it. You're known for the butt fumble. You're a journeyman. It's not ideal. But then you find yourself as a broadcaster, and they pay you a big check to just show up every weekend and call a football game and be yourself.
Yeah, still be around the game.
It's pretty great. People, man, it's so sad.
Well, but if he's got an issue,
that's the thing. He's clearly sick in some way. At least that's how it appears.
And if you don't get it taken care of,
it'll come get you.
It's bad.
Now, Bill Belichick, the situation in North Carolina is not glorious, Don. I don't know if you're aware, but Belichick denies that he's looking for a buyout of his deal, or that they're looking for a buyout.
Am I looking for a buyout and trying to leave here and all that? It's categorically false. There's zero truth to any of that. Glad I'm here. We're working towards our goals and the process. Had great support from Chancellor Roberts, Bubba, Steve, and so forth. Mike Lombardi. It's been those people have all been great, and I appreciate all their help and everything. And we just believe very much in the process. Kind of like Bill Walsh said, the score will take care of itself. And I've always believed that you just got to keep working and grinding away, and that's exactly what we're doing.
What did Bill Walsh say?
I don't know. I was just distracted at the end of that clip by Brian Clark's outfit today. You know it's hard for me when the television's on Monday Night Countdown.
Anthony, what did he say? What did Bill Walsh say?
There was a lot going on there.
Oh, because it just sounded like he said a squirrel will take care of itself.
A
That didn't sound like he said. I don't know. Is that a saying or did I mishear it? I mean, I got a lot going on here in Columbus.
You've never heard the saying, a squirrel can take care of himself?
No.
No, yeah, that's what everyone says.
I don't know if you're being sarcastic.
I am being sarcastic, but this,
Because I'm gonna drop that later, and people are gonna look at me. Oh,
drop it on the game tonight. Like right after a goal. Oh, you know what they say? A squirrel can take care of himself.
Is that how all these like wacky phrases start? Somebody's goofing around, and somebody's like, that's a thing, and then it becomes a thing.
Exactly.
Because somebody believed it was a thing.
That's all it takes, Don. Let's
make
all
this a
it
thing
takes
on this show.
That'll do it for ENN on this Monday evening. Don has Devils hockey. Alan has Knicks basketball.
Yes.
You guys have me until 7 o'clock. So we open the phone lines for the last call crew for anything from the NFL this weekend. More Jets fans complaining. I didn't get to talk to any Giants fans. I'd love to gauge from Giants fans your level of excitement on the dart of it all and the Giants season of it all. You know what I mean? Because I didn't get to have it, and I think I'm a little bit of a negative Nancy. I don't think I've quite seen yet what everyone is seeing, but you can't argue with the 2-1 record. So we'll take your phone calls on everything, whatever it may be, at 1-800-919-3776, and I'll take you the rest of the way. Don, have a great call tonight.
Thanks, buddy.
All right. Be right back.
You know so much about who you are. But do you know what makes your body your body? With over 100 lab tests and insights, Function can help you know the truth. Because you know you're made of grit, wit, and a good heart. But just how healthy is that heart? You know you're made up of all the places you've called home. You know you're made of your mom's sarcasm. And now you can find out if you have her thyroid too. You know you're made of college all-nighters and 30s early-nighters. But those still don't explain your sleep issues. You know that you're made up of good meals with even better conversation. But are you actually absorbing those nutrients? A Function membership gives you a comprehensive health check with results tracked over time. Find out what you're made of at functionhealth.com.
Hey, it's Alan Hahn. Let me tell you about my friends at Bathfitter. They remodeled the bath by my pool. They converted a tub into a shower. The result is amazing. Bathfitter offers all types of custom bath renovations, including their unique PermaFit solution for a watertight fit. It's done in one day, easy to clean, and durable with no demo or mess, and it costs less than a standard replacement, plus a lifetime guarantee. Right now, you get no money down, no payments or interest until 2027. So start designing your bath today at bathfitter.com. There's only one Bathfitter.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
John Ryan.
Yeah, Dad.
I think I came up with a killer slogan for our law firm. D'Agostino and Associates, bite back.
Bite back?
Yeah. When someone hurts you, you bite back. We'll be the law firm that bites back.
Dad, that's brilliant. Accident victims, call D'Agostino and Associates and bite back. Hey, we could even put a big vicious dog on billboards everywhere.
Yeah, and Rottweilers on buses.
Hey, how about a toll-free number?
What are you thinking?
You know, like 1-800-BITE-BACK.
1-800-BITE-BACK. That's brilliant.
But what if people hear fight back?
Easy. I'll spell it out for them, like 1-800-BITE. Back. 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222.
Love it. Hey, Dad.
Yeah.
All this talk about biting back got me hungry.
Me too. Want to grab lunch?
Sure. Hey, how about a jingle?
You mean like D'Agostino, law, bite back?
Getting the right mattress helps you sleep at night. Getting the right price helps you sleep even better. At PC Richard & Son, they don't just sell you a mattress. Their experts use a 4-step fitting process to make sure your new bed fits you perfectly. The right fit, the right price, plus free delivery. It's what they do, only at PC Richard & Son. Free delivery on mattresses $199 and up. Excludes Manhattan. See stores for details.
Introducing your new Dell PC with the Intel Core Ultra processor. It helps you handle a lot, even when your holiday to-do list gets to be a lot. Like organizing your holiday shopping and searching for great holiday deals and customer questions and customers requesting custom things, plus planning the perfect holiday dinner for vegans, vegetarians, pescatarians, and Uncle Mike's carnivore diet. Luckily, you can get a PC with all-day battery life to help you get it all done. That's the power of a Dell PC with Intel inside, backed by Dell's price match guarantee. Get yours today at Dell.com/deals. Terms and conditions apply. See Dell.com for details.
Every great team has its core players, but when the season gets tough, adding the right free agent can make all the difference. The same goes for business. At Robert Half, we found that 67% of companies surveyed plan to increase their use of contract talent to handle workload peaks and backlogged projects. With Robert Half's specialized recruiters' experience, combined with our award-winning AI, you can quickly find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Discover how we can help at roberthalf.com/talent.
All right. I'm excited to do this. I haven't been on the air solo in a long time. We're going to take you up until just before 7 o'clock. And then, of course, I'm going to be locked in tonight to Monday Night Football. I was very happy that my trip worked in a way where I get home and didn't miss any of the commies. And I do think it's a big game. You gotta beat a team like Chicago if you're serious about becoming a NFC contender. And the one thing we've learned about the NFL this year, no one is anyone quite yet. Like, I think by the end of October, we will truly have a gauge of who the teams are in this league. I really think up until then, it's unclear. You know, is India really going to look like a 5-1 team? Are they going to be a 14-3 football team? I have no idea. Are the Packers, and the Packers' record is just fine. What are they, 3-1-1? They've had a bye already. But are they more like the team they were from the first couple of weeks or the last couple of weeks? There's so many questions. So we'll figure it out. But 1-800-919-3776, whatever the topic may be. I said we want to talk Giants at first because I was not here Friday to hear all the Giants calls, though I did watch a nice chunk of the game. Let's go to Andres in Perth Amboy to talk some Giants. Andres, what's up? Welcome to the show.
Hey, what's up, Peter?
Chilling, buddy.
What's going on? Yeah, I just want to chime in a bit about the Giants. And this whole, the Jackson Dart, Scatterboo, that young energy, that swag that they're bringing. It just, the energy feels a little bit much better than it has the last few years. So that's the kind of type of young energy we needed on the team.
Well, listen, I totally agree with you. Anthony and I were just talking about this during the break. Andres, thank you for the call. Listen, I made a little bit of fun. Not made fun. We were having a discussion in the group chat late Thursday night about, I guess that was Friday morning for me. Yeah, it was Friday morning. Yeah, I went out Friday morning, was walking around. We were having a back and forth about the Jackson Dart Scatterboo of it all, and like the level of excitement and sort of the showiness that they have. And I was saying, hey, act like you've been there before a little bit when I saw some of the clips after the game of like the screaming and being crazy. And yes, I do feel that way. Style-wise, for what I'm looking for, and this is all just personal preference, I'd probably have you be a little more toned down. But Anthony made such a great point. The Giants have had nothing but understated all the time. And what's been the big net payoff from everyone being so understated? They haven't won anything, and they're not fun to watch. And I'll tell you this. Everything I've heard from Scatterboo and Dart since then and before it is the right thing. So if you want to be really showy when there's a big win and you're having a moment, as long as you say the right things when it counts, and you're not actually then saying the wrong things and coming off like nozzles, show me all the energy. I think I'm here for it. Let's go to Joe in Newtown. Hey, Joe.
Hey, Peter, welcome back. You're going to have to get back on your group chat because the whole thing about the squirrel was hysterical. But what Mumbles Belichick was trying to say is that Bill Walsh would say that the score will take care of itself.
Not
if
the
you
squirrel.
Do what you're supposed to do, not the squirrel. Now, maybe the squirrel as well, but I don't think Bill was commenting on that. But that was a great
point.
Thing.
Joey,
So,
you cleared up a lot. But Ryan Clark is wearing a crazy outfit. Although, look, I just looked up. So is Tony Dungy. So a lot of crazy outfits have me confused here. What do you got on the Giants of it all, Joe?
Yeah, on the Giants, Andres nailed it. But the energy is terrific. Jackson Dart has to learn how to slide because otherwise he is a concussion waiting to happen. But, they bring it in. As you said, when things don't go well, they know how to handle that as well. The future is bright. The defense has been good, not great. They need to clean up a little in the secondary, but they've been getting to the quarterback. Burns has, I think, 7 sacks. Which is refreshing. An older Giants fan, and we were always built on defense.
And
so,
Carter
we're not going to go anywhere. But
Carter has 19 quarterback pressures, which means he will eventually get to the quarterback.
Exactly. The arrow is pointed up, so we're happy about that.
Thank you for that, Joe. It's a completely normal and fair way to look at this team. I respect it, and I do think the future appears to be bright. Now, like I said, I'm not all the way there with Giants fans yet. I'm being a little bit more cautious about what I've seen from Dart so far. What I've seen so far is moxie, swag, attitude, says the right things. For the most part, doesn't make the dumb decision. I'm seeing the pieces I like. I'm not as far along as other people are, Anthony, of we know we've got our guy from a talent standpoint.
Well, listen,
I'm not there yet.
Peter, he's got his own song.
Sorry?
You haven't heard the song?
No.
Dart, Jackson, dart, Jackson, dart.
Climbing up the Billboard charts as we speak.
Is that song
Jackson Dart.
Is this song by Alan and Don?
That would be Dave Rothenberg.
That was by Rothenberg. Got it. Wow. He sounded like Alan to me in my little earpiece.
Oh, wow.
Is he now? How is Dave really that high? He's not that high, is he?
I don't. I would suggest you go to Awful Announcing and see how excited Dave is about the Giants.
There's an article?
Yeah.
From today?
No.
From Friday?
From Friday, yeah.
Is there audio? Can we maybe play it on the way back?
Maybe I'll show it to you in the break.
Okay. He said something inappropriate?
Oh.
Was it about physical excitement?
Oh, something like that, yeah.
We should have known, by the way, that Dave's been cruising for a bruising, considering we have a promo. There's a promo that aired about him saying he'll drop a deuce on someone.
That would be on Ray, yeah.
Yeah, so he's been cutting it close now for a while. I'm not surprised that a good Dart performance and a win over the Eagles could send Dave Rothenberg over the top. That doesn't surprise me. So I like what I've seen from Dart. Actually, here, this is a good segue to that. Let's go to Jay in the Bronx. Hey, what's up, Jay?
Hey, what's up, Peter? So I think the important question now is nickname time. Are we running with, is it official? Are we running with Vanilla Vic for Jackson Dart? Or is it a little bit too corny? Do we need to find something else for him?
So what Wan'Dale Robinson said that?
Yeah, that was a Wan'Dale Robinson thing. I think it's catchy. I don't think he's quite Vic.
Jay, here's my problem with that, Jay. Here's my issue.
Yeah.
He doesn't have nearly the ability running or throwing that Vic has. Not even close. Not even, even, if they were near each other, you'd be like, oh, one guy's playing one sport and the other guy's playing another sport. So Vanilla Vic, it's cute.
It's also not the first time, if I'm not mistaken.
What do you mean?
I think Daniel Jones was called Vanilla Vic at some point.
No.
Yeah.
All right, well, then we got to do better. Because the Vanilla Vic part works way better for Dart because he at least has swag. Him getting thrown things like white chocolate and things like that, given the jewelry and his style, it plays better. Daniel Jones, respectfully, is a friggin' dork.
Are we just going to call any white quarterback that can run Vanilla Vic?
But by the way, he's half the speed of Vic. Guys, Dart is a...
It never really made sense to me for Daniel Jones.
No, but hold on, I think I've watched every... I'm not saying I've watched every time he's taken a snap, but I've watched every play that Dart has done anything all year. I think I'm qualified to say this. He is a good runner. He is capable. Where you hope he gets to is that when you need him to run, he will be capable of doing so.
He doesn't run like Vic does. He runs
like Vic. He doesn't run like Josh Allen does.
Oh, actually, I disagree. He runs like he has the body of Josh Allen that he could bowl people over.
Exactly.
I didn't have that.
I'm trying to think of what level of runner I'd put him at. He's like when he settles down, he's going to be like the modern day. I don't mean that he's not faster. And this is probably a little old for you guys. Like Mark Brunell could run. Mark Brunell could put it down and run sometimes. And when he get going, he was good. But you don't want this kid running all the time. He's not going to be evading tackles. He's going to get popped.
Please don't dive headfirst for a first down. I'm good. I'll take the punt. I don't need you diving headfirst for a first down.
Yeah, you know what?
But it's fun.
It's interesting you say that, though. Could Baker Mayfield be a comparable runner?
Well, I have seen people compare him in that regard to Baker.
Because Baker's a brave runner. He's not the fastest runner, but he does it when he has to, and he can get it done.
And he'll get up and he'll yell at you.
But no one's calling Baker Vanilla Vic, and no one should do that for Jackson Dart. I mean, let's see. And guys, please, if you're going to mention Vic, I know time's passed. Young people don't remember. He had the single biggest arm in the NFL.
I don't see Jackson Dart living in his stadium yet either, so he's not Baker Mayfield.
And he can't be Baker Mayfield. Let's go to Danny on the island. What's up, Danny?
So many things, Peter, after a long show. A couple of totally independent thoughts. One, the best dog, non-dog, is clearly John Candy's barf in Spaceballs. They're making another Spaceballs because really wasn't the world just crying out for that to be done again?
People will be excited about that. People love their Spaceballs.
You know what? Some kind of mindless comedy is good every once in a while. Not everything has to have some deep, meanings and stuff. Have a little escapism. Listen, everybody's complaining about the jet trip. The ambassador, he had a perfectly great. He got to go to England. He had someone call him ambassador again. He had some crumpets and teas, and he got on his private jet and came home. He's completely oblivious to the state of the team. But as long as he got to play Fantasy World and met the Queen maybe again or the King or somebody, went to 10 Downing Street, and someone called him Mr. Ambassador all the time.
Ambassador Johnson.
Ambassador Johnson. That's right, Ambassador Johnson. Perfectly great weekend for him. Somebody recognized him and said, Ambassador Johnson. That was all that really mattered to him.
Ambassador Johnson?
That's right. There he goes. Another thought, our ESPN Survivor pool, we lost about 85 people so far this week, 71 on the Eagles, 14 on the Cowboys, and the one person who took the Jets, please call in. We need to speak to you as to what your thought process was. That you thought that was the best possible winning scenario. Last but not least, Peter, I'm a big commie fan tonight. 5-team parlay. It's all riding on your commies.
No.
I just found it. Yes, I just found it. Just have to win the game. Not cover.
You just need a dub. Okay. All
just
right.
need a dub.
All right, we could do that for you. I think they can. I really do. The weather's been nasty there all day. It's been very windy and wet. They had the field covered most of the day. But I'm starting to feel the momentum pick up on both sides of the ball, Danny. I think they should win tonight.
Should win the game. But last month, if Alan's still listening, because I'm a humanitarian, I'm listening to this guy last week with the Yankees, now the Jets, our Islanders, again, more vomit. Alan, Thursday night, Steelers-Bengals. Let me come on over. I'll bring my 3 jerseys. Rocky Blyer, Franco Harris, 1975 Bicentennial, and I have a little Jack Lambert. You can pull it on. You can wave a terrible towel. We'll watch the game together. I'll bring pizza. You can feel like for once in your life you actually are rooting for a team that is functional. It may not win a Super Bowl, but, it's a functional team. But then again, having to look at A-Rod, throwing, flipping balls, as he said. It's too much. My Super Bowl pick, by the way, besides being my Steelers, how about the Seattle Seahawks? How about we get Sam Darnold against A-Rod? A little Jet quarterback rematch. Wouldn't that be great?
Oh my God, that would be such a ridiculous possibility. Sam Darnold may play in a Super Bowl. I would not rule that out. That kid can play. Although I think you just called him Sam Darnold. I think you just somehow did a New York sports confusion. of Sam Darnold and Travis Darno, which you can only happen right here. Now, guys, real quick, I know we're talking lots of football, and I want to take more of your phone calls, but also I got to talk to you about Amazon Pickup. All right, it's the ultimate convenience, okay? We all know Amazon, it's all a part of our lives, but Amazon Pickup takes it to the next level. If you're pressed for time and you're always on the go, just like I am, you can choose to send your orders straight to a secure pickup location that works for you. Amazon lockers and counters are located near you no matter where you are. No matter where your day takes you, your package is ready when you are. Life never slows down, so instead of worrying about timing or schedules, your package is waiting for you. All right, for me, with the baby at home and all the jobs I'm doing, I'm always on the move, but Amazon Pickup gives me the flexibility to grab what I need between shows, errands, my commute, while the baby naps. It's that easy. Simple, all right? Order online and at checkout, just choose the pickup location that's most convenient. You'll get an email confirmation when it's ready with instructions to pick it up. Quick, secure, and always at no extra cost. Check it out for yourself. Go to Amazon.com/pickupMVP to learn more. That's Amazon.com/pickupMVP. Phone lines are open. 1-800-919-3776. We spent the last segment talking Giants. Jets fans, where are you at? Big Monday Night Football game tonight, 2 actually. Of course, I'm more dialed into the latter one. And then if I don't know if you got a look, if any wrestling fans are listening, if you got a look at Raw earlier, some big news coming out of that and the weekend that we had in Perth, Australia. Your call's next, right here. Don Hahn and Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
Don't take slow for an answer. Not so easy when you're stuck in traffic. But mere inches from someone else's bumper, you can dream of faster things. Like Optimum Fiber, the fastest and most reliable fiber internet, starting at $40 a month. So while you can't always switch lanes for a faster route, you can switch providers for a faster connection. Optimum. Don't take slow for an answer. Call 888-4OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com/fiber today. Terms apply. See Optimum.com for details.
A dime dropped right down the chimney by Justin Fields to Garrett Wilson, and the Jets have the lead. Be at MetLife Stadium for the Jets and the Panthers on Sunday, October 19th at 1 p.m., presented by JetBlue. Get to the game early and secure the game giveaway, a JetBlue Jets plane magnet while supplies last. Lock in your seats now at nyjets.com/tickets. Once again, that's nyjets.com/tickets.
Just printed from the Erie Canal Press, the most coveted ticket, New York Lottery's $1 million raffle, hath arrived. 15 fortunate souls shall come into the fortune of a millionaire.
Translation, the $1 million raffle is here, and 15 winners are going to become millionaires. The New York Lottery commemorates 200 years of the Erie Canal with your best odds of winning $1 million. Limited tickets available. Ask your local retailer today. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Hey, it's Alan Hahn. Let me tell you about my friends at Bath Fitter. They remodeled the bath by my pool. They converted a tub into a shower. The result is amazing. Bath Fitter offers all types of custom bath renovations, including their unique PermaFit solution for a watertight fit. It's done in one day, easy to clean, and durable with no demo or mess, and it costs less than a standard replacement. Plus, a lifetime guarantee. Right now, you get no money down, no payments or interest until 2027. So start designing your bath today at bathfitter.com. There's only one Bath Fitter.
Health surprises can change your life in an instant. You've seen it happen to others, but it doesn't have to be your story. At Princeton Longevity Center, we customize actionable and proactive health plans to maximize your lifespan and take control of your health. Our Cancer Check program combines cutting-edge technology with top medical expertise to keep you ahead of potential risks. With advanced full-body imaging, genetic testing, and multi-cancer detection blood tests, we look for even the earliest signs of problems. Results are analyzed by expert physicians who craft a personalized plan to safeguard your future. You're not just a patient, you're a partner in your health journey, backed by a team committed to helping you live longer, healthier, and more vibrantly. Our programs have saved hundreds of lives and empowered countless others to take control of their health. Be proactive with your health for the ultimate peace of mind. Call 888-8000-PLC or visit PrincetonLongevityCenter.com.
At City Harvest, we believe no New Yorker has to go hungry. With your help, we're on the road 365 days a year, rescuing over 77 million pounds of nutritious food and delivering it free to millions of New Yorkers, transforming surplus food into sustenance, sustainability, and smiles, rallying thousands of New Yorkers to power a network of nourishment across our city. One day, one meal, and one New Yorker at a time. That's how we feed good. Donate at cityharvest.org.
Knicks fans, opening night is a bounce pass away. Join ESPN New York's Hahn and Rosenberg live from 3 to 6:30 p.m. from Stout on West 33rd between 6th and 7th. Steps from the Garden. Get ready for the start of Knicks basketball.
Runs it off the dribble. He got it and one.
Be there for special guests, live Knicks talk, and opening night vibes before tip-off. We'll see you at Stout on West 33rd. Hahn and Rosenberg live from the Knicks home opener. Don't just listen, don't just watch. Be there.
The G's and Hustlers, if you will. Oh, man. Glad to be back. I'm hoping for some sense of physical normalcy. I was 12 hours ahead, so I try when I got on the plane to start easing back into sleep that would make sense. I don't know how I did. And I ended up napping when I got home for a hard 3 hours. I mean, I was down. But now I got to pull it together when I get home. Got to take care of the baby, watch the commie game, get back into this Hahn and Rosenberg life every day, and do my best. I've never been to Australia before. But it was a great time. I recommend Perth. If you feel like traveling as far as humanly possible, Perth is the place to go. 1-800-919-3776. We're talking all things New York sports. Let's start with good old Felicia at Mississippi. Hey, Felicia, how are you?
Hey, Peter. I'm doing great. I feel like I told Anthony I hadn't talked to him in forever, and I feel like I haven't talked to you either. So, yeah, I just kind of wanted to chime in on the Jets. As you know, I was one of those in the beginning of the year. I didn't predict like 6 or 7 wins, but I was really optimistic and excited, and I thought Justin Fields was – I just felt like he was going to play really well. And I commented on Allen's post. I'm over it. Like, I'm still going to watch games. I still care, but – I don't expect anything. I have zero expectations whatsoever. I know we've been bitten by injury bug, but it's like I'm just moving on to hockey, and hopefully my Islanders can get a win at some point. My best friend texted me and was like, well, hey, the Islanders can't be as bad as the Jets. I was like, I really think you might have jinxed us.
Listen, I really hope that they're not, Felicia. You're the first person I'll think of if somehow the Islanders turn out to be as bad as the Jets, God forbid. But I'm with you. Like, I completely understand. If I was a Jets fan at this point in time, I just cannot imagine being dialed in the same way every week. Not at this stage of my life. And I went through some horrible Commander seasons similar to this. Similar. Maybe not this bad, though, honestly. And I watched some bad seasons, but 0-6, I actually don't know. I just don't know how to. They don't give you anything to look for. And that was the killer thing about the Fields move to me, is that it looked really, pretty quickly it became clear Fields doesn't have a lot of gas in the tank. So you're like, oh, we got nothing to watch for then. If Fields is going to give you nothing, what are you watching for? And now, guys, I have more bad news. And I take no pleasure in this. Being reported, Garrett Wilson had an MRI today. He hyperextended his knee. A source says it will be a couple of weeks. Now, keep in mind, after a couple of weeks, they have the bye. So, if the MRI revealed a hyperextension for Garrett, I'd say there's no Garrett Wilson for a month. Now, if you're Garrett Wilson, there has to be a silver lining there. They can't get him the ball anyway. The quarterback yesterday threw for 45 yards, guys. I cannot imagine the frustration of someone of Garrett Wilson's ilk. He had 3 receptions for 13 yards yesterday. Justin Fields was 9 of 17 for 45 yards. He was sacked 9.5 times. Is that correct? QBR of 9, rating of 58. It's so bad. It's just so bad. Can I ask you guys a question?
Yes, Peter.
I'm just trying to think of when the last Jets team that was this bad was. Because they've been bad, but this is much worse than the Wilson teams. This is somehow, and I didn't think you could be much worse. They're much worse.
Well, look, we were going to the comparisons to how badly this tenure has started for Glenn, whether it's his fault or not, is close to the Kotite years.
And by the way, I have to say, I was glad to hear Jake Asman, who we had earlier, say that he's not convinced that this will last for Glenn, because respectfully to my guy, Alan, he's completely poo-pooed me. I don't know if you guys have caught it. The 2 or 3 times I've said it may be it for Glenn, he kind of quickly writes me off like I'm being ridiculous. I don't think it's ridiculous. Guys, this isn't a year where NFL teams give. I know it. Okay, don't throw the Lions at me. Please stop throwing. The Lions' expectation was so low coming in for Dan Campbell. It's just a different thing. It's a different market. It's a different situation. And that's the one example you can point to. Is this really going to be the Lions? I'm not rooting for it. And also, it should be noted, Alan mentioned it earlier, and he's like, don't forget, Dan Campbell, they lost every game, and he was talking about biting ankles. But there's something important you can't leave out of that. That whole biting ankles thing, it was like fun. His approach was like wacky and aggressive. It wasn't hard ass.
Not only that, people, like when he said it, people thought it was a little, like you said, goofy, and people didn't really take it seriously.
No.
Like when they started turning it around and started winning games, like people started pointing back to that, like, well, he was talking about biting ankles. Maybe we should have took him a little more seriously.
But the thing is, I just think it's a different thing to compare that to Glenn, who has not been fun-loving. He's been a hard ass. And when you fail as a hard ass, it plays terribly.
You're not wrong.
All right, hopefully my commies get a win tonight. Enjoy the football. Enjoy Devils hockey. Enjoy the Knicks. We'll see you tomorrow at 3.
1 in every 6 men is likely to be diagnosed with prostate cancer in his lifetime. That's why New York Presbyterian wants to remind men over 50